All right.
All right. Are we there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll find out if anyone talks in chat.
Is that if anyone shows up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to add my picture too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we're here.
Start talking. This is big now.
Okay. Oh,
so it's there.
It's here. It's everywhere.
Yeah. No.
Oh God.
Make it smaller.
Get out of Tomato Man's way. You can't see what he's doing.
There we go.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. I'll just throw it up there.
Oh boy.
Just so you know that we're not playing this right now. This is not live footage. This is pre-recorded shit.
We are live we're live audio footage.
What is this center?
What? Sure.
I'm weirdly picky about being in the center.
Oh
I'm sure it's fine.
You could put it in the bottom left corner, and then there's no pressure of it being in the center.
Well, then it blocks stuff. Right now, it's just blocking the compass.
Oh, true. Well, you don't want to see how many runes we have. You don't want to see that.
I mean, we die.
Yeah, true. This is before we ground out 10,000 runes. Real
Bro,
easy.
Well, okay.
10 million runes.
So interesting that we're talking about this today because actually last night we're gonna be talking about Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild and probably a million other open world games. Just discussing how our feelings and thoughts about the game.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about Elden Ring and that we're doing this today is that they actually patched the game last night with a huge patch.
Whoa, really?
They actually patched a bunch of things. Yeah, they nerfed the Hoarfrost Stomp in particular.
Oh, really?
Because it was too good. Which is part of how people were grinding for runes. They would go to like super late areas and spam that. Yeah. So I'm sure those people are happy. They also nerfed one of the swords that is like notoriously OP.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Sword of Night and Fire. We haven't gotten to it, but I have it.
Yeah.
And it's apparently really good. I don't exactly know why it's good, but apparently it was like OP. They nerfed that. They buffed a lot of the sorceries.
Oh really?
They fixed a couple quest lines that were broken, I guess.
Nice.
They added an NPC who I haven't met yet.
What?
Yeah.
That's a strange.
It's weird. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like they just like added shit and like patched a bunch of stuff, and they made like shields better, which you'll like. I don't give a shit.
Really?
I don't play shields.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, we've been playing Elden Ring, and I'm addicted to it.
My feelings are I don't want to say my feelings are mixed because they're not, but like
it's hard to like start playing. I don't know because like there's so much to do. It's like it's almost overwhelming in a way. But like once I start playing, I like have a hard time stopping, and I like lose track of time like super easily.
Yeah. I think one of the things they kind of messed up with this formula of like the whole open world thing was like with open world games, like the real attraction to it is like the idea of exploration, right? Is like going to see something that you've never seen before, and you see something in the distance, and you're like, oh geez, thank you. You go and you see something you've never seen before, and you're like, whoa, I want to check out what that is. And that was a big part of Breath of the Wild's development. I remember reading once in an interview was like they had like this theory of like the triangle, or like not triangle, it's like the theory of three or something like that, where like you're standing on a hill and there should always be at least three things in your view that you want to go and check out. And so that like obviously they want you to explore, you know.
Yeah.
But like when we play the game, like me and my brother and Brian, you know, we explore all these things and we see these new things and it's cool. And then when I go to play it on my own, I'm like, well, I've already seen that. Like there's no exploration drive. So then it's just like you want to do it because you have to do it. But
right. But I mean, like, do you all right, we're just looking at our character. Do you have that same experience in Breath of the Wild? Like, have you played Breath of the Wild again, like a second time? Like, I feel like that like will always be diminished when you play the game again.
Yeah.
You know, because like if you know where something is, like, or you know, you're not going to be like all misty-eyed in wonder and awe about it.
True.
Not that I'm defending, like, you know, there are definitely instances in Elden Ring that have been counted where it's like I would never have chosen to explore a spot, but there was something there. You know, it's like they could have, you know, and potentially they wanted that, you know, where they didn't put something interesting there to reward people who just went out into like the random corner of the map to find something. You know, it's like, and then also what like something that, you know, I'm not like super particular about it because I don't really care, but like the some of the things that you can find in Elden Ring are not very like good. Like there's a meme, and I'm pretty sure like the developers probably knew like that this would just be a joke. Is that like you can like find like bodies that have like loot on them, but it's just mushrooms.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, and yeah, they're just like useless things like that. And there's a dungeon I just went through
Yeah.
I believe it's in Limgrave, like the first area of the game, but it wasn't one that we've gone through together. And you have to. There's a spot where you can make a jump. You can make 2 jumps, and if you miss the jumps, you died. It was just like water that you fall through and you die.
Yeah.
And like there wasn't a necessarily easy jump. It was like jumping onto like a small round platform, which is like, man, if my character, if I fuck this up, I'm dead. And then like
it's so easy to skate off.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to like skate off. And the item that I got out of it was a furl calling finger remedy, which is just the item used to summon people.
Co-op summon.
Yeah, and then I had to jump back across the platform, nearly dying, and I'm like, that was underwhelming. Yeah, that was underwhelming. And it's not like whatever. Hey, if I needed furl calling finger remedies, which are not hard to get.
No, they're super easy.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous.
You can craft them super easily.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of things in that, like I appreciate that there's an item there and that, they rewarded me for exploring in some way, but
yeah,
I felt like I put in a little more effort than getting something that I actually am not going to use on that character ever.
Yeah.
And like you get weapons all the time that you'll never use because you don't have the stats to use them. But
yeah, it's not for your build.
The weapon's cool. I get to see it and be like, wow, maybe I'll use this weapon someday. So there are things like that I'm just like not raving about.
Yeah.
Where it's just like do like it like I'm gonna play through the game again. I already know. I have,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I want to get all the trophies, and you have to do endings.
Oh, yeah.
So to get trophies, it's just a Souls thing.
Uh-huh.
But like, it makes me want to remember where all the crap is, so I don't go get it. And there are some dungeons that are like that too. But at least in the dungeons, you're always rewarded by getting experience.
Yeah.
It's like if I go down that dungeon and kill the boss, I get experience. And
a lot of experience.
I'm going to need experience to fight like the main bosses in the game and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I always want to explore dungeons, whether like regardless of whether I see them or not.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, I don't really care what's at the end. Most of like the catacombs in the game, they give you the ashes that you can like summon like NPC like helpers.
Yeah.
Which
helpers.
I'm not using when we play multiplayer because you can't. And 2 on my own because I have my own personal vendetta of like trying to beat the game solo.
Beat the game on your own.
Yeah, and which is unfortunate because the ashes are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to use them because there's some really cool ones, but like I don't know. I want to see how far I can get alone.
Yeah,
because it's different. I feel like I already have to use 2 NPC helpers when I'm playing with you guys.
Oh no, you're more like helping 2 NPC helpers.
Yeah.
But. I'm not very good, and neither is my brother. But
well, your brother's not wearing any armor, and that isn't making it any easier. For him.
It's severely crippling.
Yeah, it's funny though; he gets one shot a lot, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of like that they do that whole troll thing because, like, think about all the other games that we played. Like, and I always go back to the Pusher in Dark Souls 3. Is a guy who I don't know if he has a name, but I named him myself. He's a guy right in like the Ethereal dungeon, where like you just leave the bonfire, you turn like right. And like it's so out of sight that if you weren't looking for it, you would never know. But there's a little like gobble. What do you call him? A Goomba NPC who just like fucking runs out of the jail cell and pushes you off to your death. Where like, well, not to your death. You fall into a little area where there's like all these like worm monster things that like cause you to bleed and like they hit you and stuff. And you're just like you have no idea where the hell you are. You fell down somewhere. You took fall damage, and now you're getting wailed on. And you're gonna die. Like they set up these kinds of things for that to happen to you, and there just isn't as much of an option to do that in an open world game, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where they get their kicks, their sick kicks,
Well, don't worry, Ben. There's a pusher in this game.
Yes,
I found him. There are a couple.
I found him.
There are a couple moments that obviously in the open world, there's not like too many enemies. Most of them are Goombas, maybe like a soldier in like some runes
or giants or something.
Or ruins, not runes. Yeah, like the giants, but like they're the options for that are pretty limited because you're wandering around this vast open world. But once you get into a dungeon, it feels more like a normal Souls like experience.
Yeah, like where we are right now.
Yeah, where it's like in the open world, if you like kill a group of enemies, you can like get your heals back. Like if you've drinking a flask to heal, and you kill a group of enemies, you'll get your like you get a flask back to like heal, so you're not like resting at bonfires all the time and like slowing that like sort of system down. But once you're in a dungeon, that stops, and in like the big dungeons too, that stops as well. Like these are just the dungeons that we go through in the video that is playing. They're small, so like you usually don't really go through that many flasks.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna get beat up here by a bunch of imps, but
Yeah,
I remember
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
You get bullied
I
here.
got bullied by imps. Yeah. But also in like the big dungeons that are like, that have multiple bonfires in them, period.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you flasks and stuff like that. So like that feels more like, once you get into like those zones, it feels a little more like Dark Souls esque.
Uh-huh.
But I do like the open world, but it was never necessary for a Dark Souls game.
No.
I like how, like, what it did with like quest lines, because you're wandering around, you hear some dude like screaming out your name, like, calling for help or something, and then you look around for him and you can't find him, and then you find out that he's a tree, and then you have to hit the tree to like transform him.
Yeah.
Or there's a guy on top of some ruins who is like, south of here is my castle, and some douchebag took my castle. Go kill that douchebag, and then I'll be there later.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't put like a marker on the map or anything. You can look at the map and put a marker if you want,
if you know where it is.
See it. Yeah, if you know where it is, or if you have the map for the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it also like encourages you to like learn the area. And I've memorized Dark Souls games and areas from playing them, but I've never been like, oh, the Weeping Peninsula is south of Limgrave.
Yeah.
It's like, who knows where the undead settlement is in comparison to anything else? It's like my brain didn't work like that because it wasn't necessary. It's like I feel like I have a better understanding of the area of this game as opposed to like other Dark Souls games, because it's like sometimes you're in like, I just in the undead settlement, and then I went down an elevator and now I'm in a swamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that makes sense, I guess, but it's like, which direction was that? What, like, I've never been more appreciative of having learned the compass rose than playing this game, which is weird.
Yeah.
I felt like in the Breath of the Wild you have sort of the same thing, but like it didn't feel as necessary.
Well, no,
because either you'd have like NPCs that would like point you in the right direction, or everything was sort of like visual.
Yeah.
Because like you can't see that castle that guy is talking about from where he's standing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't like point at it. He's like, go south, figure it out. Whereas like I feel like in Breath of the Wild there are moments where people would point you in a direction, and like the camera would swivel over that way.
Yeah,
which
absolutely
works as well. They also have a map that you can put markers on and find things as well. But
but the this game, I think they lined it up more so that you actually have to do the finding yourself.
Yeah,
it's not like, and they want it that way, and I think that's much better, honestly, because it's the reward of like, oh, like I listened to that guy and then I followed where he told me to go, and now I got somewhere.
Yeah,
it's not like go here and then you go there and it's like pick 10 berries and come back to me. There's none of that shit in this game. It's all like, oh, that guy took, like you said, that asshole took my castle and now I got to go, take it back for me, or like drop this item off for me in a dungeon.
Yeah,
do some crazy shit like that.
It ends up being like a mini dungeon. Usually they don't point you to like random things. Like it's usually a little area that they're pointing you to like do something at.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
nice. I think you die here actually.
Yeah. Sometimes you just look up at this footage and remember, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I definitely like the quest, the mini quest design in this game. It
makes me feel a lot better than like the normal Dark Souls quests where you like visit them in Round Table, or the Firelink, and then you like say a couple things to them and then they disappear, and like, all right, where the fuck did that person go?
Yeah,
I mean it's the only thing that I've looked up so far in like Elden Ring, and I just do it naturally in like all Souls games, is like you're never gonna figure out the quest line.
No, never. It's unless you didn't go.
Yeah, unless you're the first person doing the quest line who has to figure it out.
Yeah,
like you're not like, I don't have the time to wander around for 20 hours to figure out where this ran. Like,
yeah,
there's an NPC that goes from Stormvale Castle to Round Table to some random area in Liurnia, and it's like, how would I have known? You never said any of that. Like, I would have just had to, like, if I had done it in sequence and happened to see you there.
Yeah,
but I had done the area that she went to. And then before she went there, so like I wouldn't have known she would have gone there. So I usually look, like, that's the only stuff that I've been looking up about this game. I haven't even really looked up like any weapons or anything.
That makes sense though. And it fits this game so much better than the other ones, because like you're much more likely to backtrack in this game.
Yeah.
All I can think about is like the DS3. You might die here too.
Yeah.
All I can think about is DS3, where like you go back to I don't know if Spoilers.
Hey, it's spoilers about Dark Souls and Breath of the Wild and other
Yeah.
open world games in general.
Yeah. Open world games. Yeah,
If
every
we
single
spoil
one.
them, yeah.
But like you'd go back to an area and it's like, oh, if you don't go back to some like backtrack to some area which you'd have no reason to go back to, one of your NPC quest lines will go there and get himself killed.
Yeah.
So you like have to go back there and do something like in to prevent him from dying, basically.
Yeah.
And like who would ever do that? You know, why would you be like, oh well, I just completed a dungeon. You know what I'm going to do is run through an earlier dungeon.
Yeah. just to see what's going on. What could be different? Yeah.
What could be changing in Smoldering Lake right now?
Yeah. At least in this, there's so much in each area that it's like, well, maybe I missed something. Let me go back and or you hit a wall against like a boss and you're having a hard time. It's like, well, maybe I'll go fuck around and explore some other shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not having any luck this way. It's like I can't tell you how many times I've stopped fighting a boss and like gone to do something else because like there's this other continent that I've completely just like haven't explored like half of. Let me go do that. It's like I'm currently afraid of fighting the next like main boss in the game, so I just fucked off and did something else. And you get a feel when you're like fighting the enemies in the area. It was like, oh, I can handle these guys. It's like I'm killing these guys in like a couple shots, as opposed to like I walk in this area and like they're two-shotting me, or I have to hit them like 7 times to kill them. I feel like it does a pretty good job of being like, you could go to that area if you're really good at the game and you could fight that boss and kill him, but you're probably not gonna have a good time.
No,
you're gonna have to figure out how the boss moves, and just not get hit. Get good, basically.
Get good. Yeah,
basically
should have rolled.
Good. Yeah,
yeah,
and I like that, but like I'm not the kind of person who I literally said I was a masochist one. I'm pretty sure when I played this game because like I fought the first like legit boss Margit like died to him like 20 times and didn't stop fighting him to like level up or anything because it felt doable. It's like it was one of those things where I was like I'm getting him. I feel like as long as I figure it out, I can like beat him. But if a boss is like beating my ass, like I'm not gonna like. And that sounds like he's beating my ass. Him killing me 20 plus times. We do fight Margit at the end of this video and I lose, but whatever.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. This was already shown on our YouTube channel. But like it feels doable. You get them to a certain point, or they're not killing you in one shot. It was like I fought a boss in an area that I was already feeling like underprepared for, and he was like kicking my ass, and I died to him twice, and I was like, I'm just gonna go fuck off and do I'm gonna go do something else. And it's like I'll just go to a continent that I haven't explored. I'll look around, maybe I'll find some dungeons, maybe I'll find some new things, and then you go from there, basically. And perhaps we have a different view of this game because we play a lot of Souls games, and like the grinding doesn't really come naturally to us. Maybe it's just that's how we are, but like I don't know, I just don't. I've never really been the kind to grind these games, especially in this one where it's like there's so many little caves to go into and bosses to fight. It's like I'd rather just grind by playing the content.
There's
nothing wrong with grinding. Like if you grind to play the game and you're 80 levels over Margit before you fight him, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that.
I don't know if I just say there's nothing wrong.
I'm not going to
do that,
to poo-poo on your parade, basically. It's like you do that if that's what makes you have fun. We watched one of our friends who I think this was his first Souls game get fairly frustrated at playing.
Just absolutely bodied.
He was fairly frustrated with it. And I was like, if the game is giving you that much strife and grinding is the solution, if that's what gets you through the game to experience it and possibly enjoy it, fuck it. I'd rather have that than you just drop it after paying $60 and maybe $600 for a PS5 to play it.
And I kind of wonder is like I've always wondered, like, should there be an end to levels, right? Because like and it's, I guess it's a little different for an RPG or a JRPG because it's all about numbers, but like what does that really get you? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you're playing the game, and the fun part is playing the game,
right?
But like, you're worried about like, oh, I'm under leveled, so I'm gonna go fight the same enemy like 1,000 times until I'm appropriately leveled to do this. And this game's set up a little better so that you don't have to do that. You can just play the game and get there naturally, like you're talking about, which I would highly recommend. But Breath of the Wild doesn't have levels, and like you can get better armor and all that, and it helps, but not really all that much, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like the main like leveling up system is just getting more hearts, like doing that. And I wasn't a huge fan of that progression system because it's like it was so incremented that it's like you had to go into what, like 4 shrines.
Yeah, you had to do 4 shrines.
Yeah, you had to do 4 shrines for every heart, and it's like the shrines, mind you, the little mini dungeons in Elden Ring are short. They get longer, but I feel there's a little more to them. It's usually not just a puzzle. The Breath of the Wild shrines were like you fight a guy, like one dude, or it was like a puzzle or something like that, and they were fun, and like most of them are intuitive and interesting. But I wasn't. I would find a shrine and I probably did it right away, but I wasn't like excited.
No.
It was like I was like, I'm gonna have to do a puzzle or something, and it's gonna like make me think.
Yeah.
I mean, Dark Souls doesn't really have that, so it's got that going for it. Where it's like I'm not gonna have to think when I go in here. I'm just gonna have to sweat a little bit, probably.
Yeah. I have to play the game.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that, and maybe I'm just not a puzzle gamer, but
I don't know. I loved Breath of the Wild, and
me too. I really did like Breath of the Wild. It's just that I felt that was slower than just like going in, getting like basic experience, and then being able to do something with that like pretty right away.
No, it's absolutely a reward to find a puzzle or a mini dungeon or a catacombs or whatever in this game. It's like it's a reward because you're like, okay, I showed up to play the game, and now I get to go in here and play the game. I feel like the Breath of the Wild like shrine system just left more to be desired because like you want to go in and I want to do a dungeon in Breath of the Wild, or like I want to go in and do a couple puzzles or whatever. Or I want to fight some enemies.
Something a little longer form.
And there's so much enemy design variation in this game. And really not even I guess all that much compared to other Dark Souls games, but there's especially more than Breath of the Wild.
I was gonna say you should read the Reddit and how people are fucking ranting about reused enemies, which is like, okay, they made this game huge, like massive. I get that there are enemies that are in the overworld that they turned into bosses. Like the first boss you can like encounter, and probably the one that most people encountered. Well, actually, I don't know. Is this tutorial boss? He's literally I would equivalent him to a Paragoomba in the overworld. He's just a knight of Godric. He's just like a
standard enemy.
Yeah, just like a standard knight dude. A little harder than a Goomba. You got to jump on him twice.
The Goombas are stupid easy in this game.
Yeah, the Goombas you can one shot them with like anything. We killed them outside of the temple in this one, but it's like, and he's just a normal enemy. But like obviously that's the tutorial.
Yeah.
And there are other bosses that are like that. The giants in this game, there's a boss that's a giant. But maybe I give the game way too much credit, and I'm like, oh well, this giant is like strong. That's why he's a boss. It's like he's different than the other giants. And I believe they gave him a different looking weapon.
Oh.
So like there's that. Like they tweak him a little bit.
Yeah, but not like
usually I feel. And there are some reused bosses.
Pumpkinhead.
But like it's gonna happen. Like the game is massive. Like they could have shelved this game for months more and made unique enemies for every area, but like it's fine.
There's enough.
It's they're none of these are required.
No,
like we could put it that way.
Yeah.
And also the same people that are like ranting and are really mad about that get really excited when they see Tibia Mariner again, the skeleton guy in the boat. I've heard about this because I don't browse Reddit, but I've heard about this meme that like people like in like one corner, like one slot of the meme or whatever, the people like, oh, they keep reusing enemies, and then another panel of the one is like, yeah, dude, it's fucking the skeleton in the boat guy again. Fuck yeah. And it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, that guy's hilarious and great.
He's awesome.
Yeah, but like he's a reused boss, so I don't, and he's just the same. He's the same,
literally the same.
And I mean again with like how they tweak enemies, like they have the tree guardians or whatever that are by all the minor trees. Most of them are the same, but there's one that's different, markedly different. So
yes,
there's just shit like that. So it's like, I don't know, there's so much that you could do that like could have been done, but like I don't know, the game is like, it hasn't dampened my experience in particular of like, man, I hate fighting. And it's never like it never feels like, man, I just fought a bunch of giants and now I'm fighting another giant.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
yeah.
usually like a I go into a cave and I fight a bunch of rats, and then at the end of the cave there's a giant bear as a boss. It's like that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that they do an okay job. And like maybe it's not the same people who are playing Breath of the Wild versus Elden Ring, but like I don't remember.
Definitely
Well, I don't know.
No, I mean, I
are.
don't say we both played both, so
Yeah, but
there is some, I'm sure.
they're both open world games, but like I don't know. Breath of the Wild is probably it's got to have been a 10 out of 10, right?
Let's look it up. I got my phone.
All right, yeah, look it up. But like,
I'm pretty sure it's IGN definitely gave it a 10 out of 10 because
I'm sure.
you know they gave Skyward Sword a 10 out of 10. It can't, you know, just distaste.
I'm sure a lot of younger people probably don't feel the same, but I did not like I did not like.
Many people didn't like Skyward Sword, bro.
Yeah, well, back in the day, but apparently it's popular with the younger crowd now.
I didn't hate it. Oh, yep, bro. I called it. IGN 10 out of 10. Nailed it.
I mean,
it's got a 97 on Metacritic, though.
Yeah, that game is phenomenal. It's unbelievably good.
It's very good.
It's one of the only games I played all the way through twice and considered playing a third time.
Yeah.
But the enemy design is like what? You get the fucking like moblins, bokoblins, Lizalfos, the skeleton varieties, Hinoxes.
They're just like a different color.
Yeah, the four of the four dungeons in the game all have the same boss, and then you get a couple guardian variants.
Yeah,
it's like there's no like look at this fucking thing. Look at this watch cat. It fucking like it's a mechanical robot ass thing. Like you've never seen shit like this before. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's plenty of enemy design in the game. It's ridiculous.
But you fight this guy again.
But
he's got 2 heads instead of 1.
Even that's better than fucking Breath of the Wild, where they just recolor them.
But to be fair, when he does his breath attack and he's got 2 heads, and then you fight him again, he's got 3 heads.
Oh, really?
The fire comes out of both mouths.
That's so
it's got a wider area.
That's so. That's. I mean, when you lay it out like that, it kind of sounds lame. But like 2 fire-breathing heads is pretty cool.
But
they
it
didn't fucking put 2 heads on
how
a
that
moblin.
attack works.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it comes out in 2 streams and it's wider, so it's a little harder to avoid. And I mean, of course, he's got more health when you fight him later and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but like you know, that isn't changing much. It's just making him harder for it to be hard sake.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I never saw 2 heads on a bokoblin.
Yeah. They never, changed
I never
that.
saw a 2-headed Hinox.
But he's a different color.
Yeah, he's harder.
Yeah.
And then if you play the master mode, there's really nothing different because they're all like the highest level or whatever. They're all bumped up a level, but like most of them are the highest level. It's like, okay, well, okay, if I'm riding around the overworld, it's like, okay, I'm gonna fight a bokoblin or a moblin.
Yeah.
Or maybe a lizard if I'm around some water, or like a fucking wizrobe if I'm really lucky and get some real enemy design. But it's like, I don't know, like you could go here and fight a giant, and then you go fight an onyx, and then you can go fight a bunch of wolves, and then you can go and fight, I don't know, the land octopussy.
Yeah.
There's a ton of variety.
And I feel like for the most part in Breath of the Wild, there isn't really any reward for like going out of your way to fight enemies other than getting their weapons, or like they drop like crafting materials, right?
So yeah, they do.
But like in this one, it's like, oh, if I go kill, like I just killed 2 Goombas in this video footage. It's like, yeah, they probably gave me like 20 souls, but I got runes for killing them.
Yeah,
it's like I got experience for killing the enemies. So it's like when I feel more as I run past all of these enemies. That's just because I'm trying to get to Margit because we were trying to end the episode.
Yeah,
but like I feel in like, 1, if I don't have all my flasks and I kill a group of enemies, I get my flasks back.
Yeah.
2, I get experience for fighting enemies, period. Which like in Breath of the Wild or like other open world games, like they don't really encourage you to fight the enemies in the open world, as I literally run past all the enemies. But yeah, it's like every time I find like groups of enemies in this game, I feel like I'm somewhat encouraged to fight them just to get like a little bit of experience.
Their armor, you can get a flask back.
Yeah, like literally every enemy drops like pretty much their weapon or their armor. Like super rare, but like you could still get it.
Yeah, not so rare that it's not worth doing.
Yeah, that's not viable to do. Also, you can increase your ability to get drops from enemies. But
yeah, which is also a really cool feature that you don't see in a whole lot of games.
Yeah. Usually it's just like deal with the 0.01% drop rate on this item.
Yeah,
better luck next time, loser.
Yeah, there's literally items that you can buff your drop rate.
Yeah,
like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that, and there's a stat that you can put points into that.
Yeah,
which apparently was broken. Arcane scaling on some things was apparently broken.
Oh, really? Broken isn't like it didn't work, or broken isn't like super good?
Broken as it didn't work, I think.
Oh,
on
interesting.
certain weapons. I don't know if the scaling like itself was working or not. I don't know, there are patch notes somewhere.
Yeah.
I skimmed them. But yeah, it was like, that's also cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they could just dump this game and just forgotten. I feel like I have such a low bar for these sort of like expectations where it's like if a game developer puts out a game and then like fixes like 2 things, I'm like, let's go.
God, I love them.
Yeah, God, they're so great.
Yeah.
But like,
no, they did a great job with this one.
Yeah, and like, did you realize, like, I only would have noticed that the one quest line that was apparently broken, I only would have known that it was broken because I looked it up. Because I had it looked up. Yeah. I wouldn't, not that, like, I just would have thought that he just was just done, you know? Like, in true Dark Souls fashion, sometimes the quest lines don't amount to anything.
Yeah, they just kind of like, peter out.
You got some lore, and you got to meet this character, and, you know, that was nice, I guess. And sometimes they open a shop and then they just kind of hang out.
Yeah, or nothing.
Yeah, so I hadn't gotten very far in his quest line, but like had it resolved the way it did when I think it was broken, I would have just been like, oh, I guess he's just done now. I guess he's just hanging out now.
And it wouldn't have ruined your experience really
again
at all.
That shit's optional, so you know you don't have to do it, and you're probably not going to do it if you play blind.
Yeah.
You might talk to him in round table, and then you may see him later, and then you just be like, I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he's here.
Yeah. Man, I really, when I was thinking about this, like the idea for doing this, I was thinking like I'd be a lot nicer to Breath of the Wild.
We got to give it credit. It's older, and it did sort of pioneer these games.
Yeah. It did a lot of
like the
groundwork.
only real like other quote unquote open world games before these were like GTAs were like really big, but I mean, their open worlds are pretty bland. Maybe I'm just not a GTA player, but like, you know, you go from one spot to another, ending up in glowing circles to do mainline quests, and sometimes you drive around in cars and kill people because it's fun, and it's fun. It's very fun, but you know, it's like,
well, it's all stuff I could do in real life.
Exactly. You know, I could just get in a car, pick up an AK floating on the side of the street, and just mow some people down.
Yeah. It's America, goddammit.
So, I mean, we're being unfair because it's old. I am interested to see what they will do with Breath of the Wild 2. Because, I mean, it's not that any of the, like, okay, maybe fighting the same enemies over and over again got a little old after a while, but, like, there was, that had a more straightforward plot. I'll give that, you know, it's like, I feel like that, I mean, this is just your dude who woke up. Some lady was like, hey, go become Elden Lord, you know, and then you kill some guys. We walk into Margit's room. He's like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. And then he's like, okay, I guess. I don't really know why.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but that's always been Dark Souls, is like, you're just some guy
doing it,
doing the thing, and then depending on how many quests you did or what certain quests you did, you get an option at the end to either say fuck you or I want to be, you know, the
good
Dark
boy.
Soul, you know, John Dark Soul. You know, so it's like Zelda definitely has a more concise plot. You play as Link, you going to save Zelda, you know, it's like I haven't been playing Elden Ring to become Elden Lord. I mean, yes, that is the final,
I'd assume the final end,
that is well, I mean, I'm sure there's one where you can say fuck you, I don't want to be Elden Lord, or you can overthrow it or whatever, you know. I'm sure there's that, and I'll get that choice later, but I'm not doing it because I want to save a girl, you know? And when I play Zelda, and the one merit that I will give to Skyward Sword is that I liked Zelda's relationship with Link. They were like friends.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
Then she found she was a princess, but like I felt really driven to like finish that game because I was like, I want to go save my best friend.
Yeah,
you know, if I'm putting myself into Link's shoes.
Yeah, there's stakes on the table.
Yeah, and in Breath of the Wild, it's like, I want to go save Zelda, this 300-year-old lady who I guess I want to bang. I don't know, but she's got a cool voice. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, and then she ends up not being 3. I don't know. Whatever. It's weird. You know, it's like that has a better drive to want to finish the game. I want to finish this game because it's fun. I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild isn't fun, but this one's like, I really like Souls games and it's great. And I just want to get to the next boss and fight the next boss and see what I can find in every little nook and cranny.
Yeah. I mean, does that speak to how good Elden Ring is though? If it's so good that like You just want to keep playing it because it's so good.
Oh, absolutely. Of course it speaks to Elden Ring. I don't play fucking Elmo's 1, 2, 3 count 'em game because, like, man.
Because of the lore?
Yeah, I'm not addicted to that game because of the lore or how fun it is.
I was going to say you're addicted to the gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what's after 3.
Yeah. I still haven't found out.
Yeah. Also, this video is looping now, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You know, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't want to put up another video. We don't anymore
just
put
listen to
video
the sweetness of our voices.
Yeah. We could have just had a PNG here, so you know,
yeah,
suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, or a GIF if we were feeling generous.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like both these games kind of did the exploration thing really well.
Yeah.
I just think back to Xenoblade 2 and especially Xenoblade 1. How shitty the exploration was in those games.
Yeah, the most I ever like wanted to explore. I mean, there are points in the game, both games, where I'm like, oh, that looks like a cool spot to get to. I'll walk over there. There's usually nothing over there.
Yeah,
but you get like experience for like finding like landmarks and stuff, which like I wouldn't go like super out of my way to do, but like,
oh, never.
You know, I'd wander around and like if I saw something cool, I'd go over there. But there are places, you know, there are parts in that game that are just not very interesting.
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
but like
2 did it a little better, where there's like, oh, there's a treasure chest with money, and you know, money is good.
Yeah.
But like 1, it's like, oh, I could go to that cliff and maybe find one of those blue orbs, where I can get like belligerent eggplant or something. You know what I mean? And like, for Juju.
Well, I mean, if you do all the side quests, they take you to most of the map, but no one wants to do this. Like, I don't want to get started on side quests in those games because the like Xenoblade 1 is like my favorite game, but goddamn, the side quests are probably worse than Soul side quests.
Yeah,
I mean, then that's the thing, is that they're not vague. They tell you exactly where to go. They're like
collect
80% of them are meaningless and have nothing to do with plot, or they don't tell you. It's just some nameless NPC who's like, go kill some enemies for me. And if you want money, you don't even get experience for like that was what made me mad. Was like they're cool because they're just like little check marks that happen in the background, you know, where it's like, if you kill, this guy tells you to kill 4 of these enemies, and it also will probably give you like 12 more quests where you collect things. Yeah. And then as you do those, it like checks them off in the background. You never have to go talk to them again. It just immediately finishes, and then you get the rewards. Yeah. Usually the rewards aren't very good. It's usually just money, and then you get like reputation for whatever city they're in. Yeah. It's tedious, and it's asinine. It's additional time, you know, that it's padding. And regardless of me saying that's padding and it sounds like it's shitty, it's still my favorite game. But mostly because of the plot, mostly because of I like the gameplay. If I was going to play through that game for fun, I wouldn't do the side quests. The last time I played that game, I 100%ed it, so I never have to do that shit again. Yeah, you know, it's like
was it worth it?
Yes, only to find the like 5 quests that are actually interesting. Because there are quests in the game that tell you about like characters, and a character who was a villain shows up again for side quests. Really? Yeah, that you like. It's not necessary. What's her name? It's Melia's stepsister.
Oh yeah,
yeah, no and that is relevant for the DLC. Oh. She's in the DLC as well, and it's like, but I'm pretty sure that quest was in the base game, and there's like plot. And just like you find out that she didn't, because Xenoblade spoilers, you know, that all of the Hyantia, they turn into these like monsters. Basically, it's basically if you're a certain race,
flying potatoes.
Yeah, basically. You get turned into flying potatoes. It's sort of like zombies, but not really. But they're like half breeds, or they're like half human. Basically, they're called Homs, but half human, half Hyantia that didn't turn because they had human blood. They weren't like full. And you find out, even though in the Hyantia people have wings on their heads, that usually if you're a half-breed, you have like shorter wings, not like very long wings. But Melia's sister has long wings, but you find out she's a half-breed. Oh. Even though she's had long wings the whole time. So you're like, huh, that's weird. That's like different. So you find out that, and then she's also in the DLC later on. Interesting. So there's quests like that are actually interesting, but you have to dig through a mountain of shit that give you nothing. You know, it's like, yeah, money's great and all, but like I don't want to have to like I I'll do that quest if it happens to go off in the background.
Yeah.
You know, if I happen to kill the 10 caterpillars I needed to kill to make this dude happy, sure.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm having fun
Happy.
and not trying to, you know, 100% it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not great game design, but you
No.
know, I overlook it because I like that game a lot. Although I will say, this is competing. Maybe not for my favorite game, but Bloodborne is like maybe my second or third favorite game, and
Really?
it's competing with that.
Really?
Well, it's just. I mean, Bloodborne is a more succinct experience,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like if it'll be easier to play through Bloodborne again than this. And maybe
I could see that.
I'm just so tempted to do everything in this game for like levels and stuff because I don't want it to be impossible.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like super hard. I want it to be challenging, but not super hard. You know, and Bloodborne's a little more like you just, you know, it's Dark Souls. It's a linear line. You know? You go through the game how you do, and you can play this game like that too, but you're more rewarded for exploring and all
doing
that kind
all the
of stuff.
things. Yeah. Well, and it also comes out to like a measure of like, how much do I want to do? You know, like it's like you have to strike a balance of like, okay, do I really want to go do that dungeon? And then like, do I really, you know, do I need the levels? And it's like, oh shit, I need more levels, so I'm gonna go do a dungeon. And I know I'm gonna get nothing out of it, but I'm doing it anyway.
But I'm an adult and I have work and a life, so it's like, you know, how much time do I sacrifice to playing this game again?
Yeah,
you know, it's like I love it and I'm enjoying it, but I've already experienced it. Especially if it's a game that I've 100%ed. Like I don't. The next time I play XC1, Xenoblade again, it'll be years from now, maybe, if I really care. You know, it's like I've almost experienced everything that game has to offer.
Yeah.
The only things I haven't played as like you can switch your party members, and I haven't had like some of the party members as like the main one, you know, and that's not really experiencing too much because they're the characters I didn't want to play enough to not play as them for the last like 4 or 5 times I played the game.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, did I really want to experience that? And probably not.
No.
You know, so unless I really get a craving, I won't.
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's just kind of a toss up, but like I don't know. I think that I'll enjoy playing Bloodborne again more than I'll enjoy playing this one. I mean, I'm experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
I've already done all that shit. And it's like, well, I don't want to go explore that. I've already done it.
Yeah.
Which, for whatever reason, Breath of the Wild like wasn't
it
like
didn't have that for you.
No.
I mean,
Which blows my mind.
As I say, fucking talk about that since you were feeling bad about shitting on Breath of the Wild.
I played that game.
Explore that corner.
I played that game again almost immediately.
I
felt
did
so good.
Not. I did the thing that I do with most games. Well, yeah, most games is where I get very far and then I stop and then I like way down the line I beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a condition probably.
Let's get that out.
But there are certain games that it doesn't happen to, and those are games that I laud as like very good. You know, it's like you know when I can again when I can't put a game down or when I just like blast through it and I can get to the end and it like I don't stop. That's when I know it's like, damn, this game must be very high on my list.
It's really good. Yeah.
Maybe not. You know, I'm not even gonna say very good because the game could be shit. I don't know. You know, people.
Well, you think it's very.
People
good.
have different tastes. I would never recommend this game to anyone unless they've played a Souls game. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
Unless I don't even know what other game would equate to
something like this.
Yeah, because it's like it's not.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not, that it's
Kirby's Epic Yarn's kind of like this.
It's just as punishing. It's like you almost kind of have to be a little bit of a masochist to be into this. Unless you want to grind, you know. And I would never recommend Xenoblade to anyone who doesn't like RPGs. You know, you have to.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I could recommend Xenoblade. It's such a the story is so good.
Yes, but you have to RPG to get to the. You know what I would say?
No,
what I would
really
say to them is go read the plot synopsis. You know, go read the book. Basically.
Oh well, okay.
You know, because it's like if you hate RPGs, how are you going to get through that game?
You could get. I think you can get through that
numbers.
Game. But it doesn't really matter
There's
that
so much. Yeah.
Well, maybe 2 less than 1. 1, I guess you kind of like. Yeah. There's spots where it's like, okay, you have to have this hard counter, and you know, blah blah blah. You got to think about it. Like I'm thinking specifically, you know, like when you go to fight humans with the Monado, for example.
I encountered that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The main character has a weapon that can't do any damage to people.
Like, to human beings.
Yeah, and so you get in a fight with people, and since he's the main character, if you haven't swapped him off your team, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah.
Because he can't do any damage to them.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of a problem, but like...
Yeah, that would that's a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
But it would be a problem to someone who isn't paying attention to that. Yeah.
I don't know. I would argue that you can't really, even though Breath of the Wild is way more accessible than this game, I really wouldn't recommend that game to everyone either.
There's no game I would recommend to everyone. You know, it's like video games are, you know.
Yeah, true.
It's hard because like I want people to play this game, and I'm glad there are lots of people playing this game. I would consider me a gamer, and that the fact that there are a lot of quote unquote normal people playing this game is
fucking bodied.
Yeah. We've seen this.
I know it just shocks me every time.
Yeah, it's gonna happen again too. I get bodied and I rested
a couple times actually.
Yeah, but like I'm glad that there are normal people playing this game because it brings the game to the front, the front light, and the more exposure it has, the more money that From Software makes. The more money they make, they have more money to work with to make their next game or do other things.
Extra content, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's great, and also it's kind of funny to watch people be buffoons about this game. Who've never played a Souls game before.
People who have, I don't want to say no business being here, but
it's like I watch TikToks, and there's a lot of Elden Ring TikTok on my For You page. And there's a lot of people being like, there's this weapon with a unique skill. And it's like, it's not a unique skill. You can find it in the overworld. it's like you didn't even play the game enough to figure that out. And it's funny. It's funny. Like, I like that. But also, it's hard to recommend games to people because you don't know how they're going to take it. You don't really know how they're going to play it or
especially with a game like this that's
unless you're like
punishing.
I don't know. I feel like with you, I'm like pretty good. Like I could write, but we also have very similar tastes.
Yeah,
we have very similar tastes, so it makes it
actually
pretty easy.
Yeah,
I feel like I have a pretty good record actually with you at least.
Yeah, you've recommended probably my favorite game ever. So
what is that?
Mother 3.
Oh yeah, did I?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, where the fuck would I have heard about that game?
True. I also gave you my copy of Xenoblade 1 to play.
You did.
Yeah.
That started
which led you to Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
I like 2 better than 1.
No. I'm sorry because that's like just 100 hours of your life.
100 hours. Yeah, 100 hours per game.
Hours of your life.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's another abusive relationship. But as long as you enjoy
it, that's what matters.
Yeah, that's true. It fills my time.
I'm not gonna take credit for Dark Souls, although maybe somewhere down.
No, you should because I played that game because you had showed me Bloodborne once.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like looking for a new game to play. I remember in high school we were at our buddy's house, and he was having a bonfire, and I was like looking for a new game to play, and you had shown me Bloodborne, and you had talked about like another one. I don't know why I just had a taste for like a knights and swords kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what are the games you were recommending me the other day? And you told me about them. You're like, dude, if you ever get that game, like, let me know and we'll play it. And that was what started it.
Yeah.
That's really what we talked about this the other day. That's really what how we started becoming friends. Really. I mean,
it's strange because we've been friends for a long time, but you're my best friend. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, yeah, that's so touching.
Of course, it's happening our stream.
We're gonna have an emotional moment.
An emotional moment. We're probably about to kiss. But
live.
One, I don't really hang out with. I'm a fucking loser. I'm a shut in.
No, not a loser.
I'm not a loser. I'm a shut in.
I'm a shut in.
Shut in pretty much describes it pretty well. I don't usually leave my house, but I don't know. We have a lot in common. God damn it, we're having a moment here.
Tomato Man wants in.
Yeah, but we also just have a lot in common. Whereas some of our other friends, I feel like I've not drifted away from, but we just have different tastes, and that's fine.
Yeah, we have very similar tastes.
We happen to have very similar tastes, so it works out.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't super tight friends in even nearing the end of high school, but I think senior year we had a couple classes together or something that we hung out more, and then we started hanging outside of school and all that. We're getting off topic. We're just talking about our personal life instead of open world games.
How we're about to kiss.
Yeah, but we're talking about this is how we got into open world games. Yeah, that's what we'll say. That's
well, that's how we got into Dark Souls, which leads to Elden Ring.
And we also played Breath of the Wild when you were in college. I came down for a weekend and we played Breath of the Wild, not together obviously, but in the same room. Where
That's true.
Look at what I'm doing. Look at what you're doing.
I remember you were actually not that far ahead of me. Now that I think about it.
No, and that's what I just started talking about Elden Ring with a friend at work actually, and we happen to be like near the same spot, which is really cool because it's like, oh, that's what I like about the open world game is like he told me about things that I hadn't seen yet or hadn't done yet.
Yeah.
And then I told him about things that he hadn't done yet or hadn't, we got to, and of course, we could have looked it up, but like,
yeah.
One, if you don't know something exists, you're not going to look for it. You're not going to go looking for it unless you're. There are ways. There are ways to do that. There's an interactive map for this game already that tells you literally everything. But, it was more interesting, and I got a better engagement. And I made I didn't make a friend. He was already kind of my friend, but I bonded with a human being over a video game because he just randomly asked me, he was like, "Hey, you play games?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You playing Elden Ring?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then we started talking about it, and it's enlightening to me because it goes to show how I was talking about earlier. It's like we play this game in not a weird way, but like in a way that that most people I think aren't.
Yeah.
Most people, especially like when I'm by myself. I mean, when we're playing together, we don't have this option. But most people are using the souls. Most people are using the summons. Most people are doing the things that help them beat the boss without dying to it 20 times. And they're talking, and that's how he's been playing the game. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. And
no,
he actually has a pretty good, like, I would consider him more of a gamer than normal. So he likes he wants it to be challenging, but not like as much. He doesn't like his balls getting stepped on as much as me, I guess. I don't know. I don't like getting my ball stepped on, but I guess I'm a little bit more of a masochist than him.
Yeah.
I cherish trying to do it by myself than using the summons.
Yeah.
But and hearing him talk about the summons, I'm like, damn, I should be using these summons because they're fucking cool. But I'm still pretty hard set on playing by myself. But that I like that they have that option. Like normal Dark Souls, you get like NPC summons, but like you don't have just like summons that you can use all the time.
Yeah, you get them for the boss, and that's it.
Yeah, the spirits you can summon at any time, and you get a bunch of different ones. There's a lot of cool ones. There's a really cool one that they actually nerfed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because he was too good. And he's really cool, and like I want to get him and use him, but like I also don't because I want to.
You want the raw experience.
I want the raw, like
you want to be raw.
I want the raw dog experience. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that having that option is cool, and in other Souls games you didn't necessarily have that option. You could summon other people to help you online if you had access to online, which
and access to friends.
Paid subscriptions for online. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Or if you have friends, which some people don't.
Yeah. Well, specifically masochist friends who play Dark Souls.
Exactly. Other people that play Dark Souls and are around the same spot that you are. Like they have to be, you either have to be playing together or they have to be in the same area. Whereas it's like this, it's like, all right, if I'm in some bumfuck cave in the middle of nowhere, my friend isn't over there, I don't have a friend, I can just summon this NPC, It basically just summons like enemies from the game to help you.
Yeah.
Just picked one up there.
Yeah.
That's just a pack of Goombas you can summon to help you. Literally, it's just the Goombas.
Yeah.
And it's like, you might think like, wow, why would I want a bunch of Goombas helping me? It's like, well, in this game, having the boss's attention is really stressful. And having just like a Goomba there to like take that off of you while you can like wail on the boss's like ass basically is like, it's pretty helpful.
It's really helpful. Yeah.
So it's like, it's cool to have that option. And the fact that they put it in there is really cool.
Yeah. And it's a fun little unlockable too. Yeah, that it is kind of an interesting thing that like these kinds of games really revived the idea of like, and we're too young for this, like just barely, but like, I've always wanted to play a game like the 80s where it's like you go into school and you're like, dude, you'll never believe the shit that I just saw.
Yeah.
And you're like, I found something or unlocked something, and like there's no internet, you can't look it up. So like you come into school with this like fucking like the God's information, like he came down and whispered to you.
Bro, I just unlocked Tails in Melee.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, I just got Sonic in Melee.
Yeah, fake or otherwise.
Like that kind of shit.
Yeah, but like that, this game really revives that kind of thing because you don't just go through and like, it's like I'm not gonna tell you what's after the third gym in Pokemon or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna fucking see it.
Yeah.
But like,
guess what? It's the fourth gym.
Yeah, but like in these games, like, dude, you'll never guess what's over, like, over in the lake, right where, like, right in the beginning, where the guy's burning on the cross. Yeah, go check him out.
Right in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, go check him out.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it's it revives that kind of thing again, which I think is super cool and valuable.
Yeah, it's nice that can happen even if you've played the game. You know, if you haven't 100% of the game, it's like when we would play through Dark Souls or Bloodborne, I always had an advantage because I played the games, I beat the games.
You know where the pusher
you felt
is.
that too because we pulled your brother into it too.
Yes,
and then you had already played it as well, so it's like we know about it. And for the things that are along the line, you get those little surprises that you can sort of fuck with your friends.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you go first.
Yeah. How about you go through here first? Just no reason.
Yeah,
and yeah, I like that. And this one has more of those opportunities. And other all open world games have that too because there's so much stuff. But this one, there's a lot of opportunities like that where it's like, I feel like in Breath of the Wild or we need to think of more open world games.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic soon. It's like it's not just there's a shrine over there or there's a shrine with like a dude in there.
Yeah.
It's like there's some fucker around the corner who's gonna fuck you up.
There's a fucker around the corner. Yeah,
and that just plays to there being multiplayer as well because there's not multiplayer in Breath of the Wild, so you don't really have that experience unless you're watching someone else play the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like the open world setup that they apply to this, but I don't know if I ever want to do it again for a Dark Souls game.
I just don't know like how they do it again. Yeah, I feel like we talk about this a lot actually about like when they make a game that like when a game company makes a game that's so good. Because maybe not necessarily so good.
But like this, they give you so much control.
They change it, or they give you so much control or so much like openness or something. It's like how do you take the open world back? It's like you can't. There's like some sort of cooking phrase, or it's like I don't know, or maybe it's not cooking. I'm just thinking of some random thing that I can't remember the exact wording for. But it's like how do you take it?
Once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it or something like that.
Something like that, where it's like, how do you? What game were we talking about that recently? That was like that.
Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem are two that come to mind.
Yeah, and like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where it's like you can literally you can get any of the characters you want in like whichever path you choose. Any of the classes you choose. Yeah. You can get any character you want on your team. Yeah, up to a certain point.
You get complete control over all your stats and classes.
You can change all their classes. All of you can make them exactly whatever you want. And it's like how do you take that back? It's like
that goes against the formula for the last like 14 games.
Yeah. And then like how do you
now what?
Yeah, exactly. How do you go back to the old way because it's infinitely easier to make an old way, and perhaps it might have been a more concise sort of experience where it's like DS3 Bloodborne, they're very concise experiences. It's not you go through it the same way, and they're probably a lot easier to make because you don't have to hide shit everywhere and they fucking hit shit everywhere in this game. I've jumped to places because there's a jump in this game. I don't even know if I jump playing in this but there's a jump in this game which completely opens the game to a million different things like that. Like in a normal Dark Souls games, it's very like 2D, not 2. It's 2D. You have a jump, and there are jump spots. There are little cheeky spots that you could jump to, and occasionally you get rewarded for them. But usually, if you get to a spot that you don't feel you were intended to get to, there's nothing there. Maybe a message that someone left.
It was very unwieldy.
Like, I've jumped to a part of a map that I was like, I don't know if this was intended. It wasn't necessarily felt like unintended, but I was like, there's probably nothing back here. And then there's a bunch of fucking enemies, and then another another way I could go through like the dungeon, and then items and stuff. And I was like, they thought about that. I designed this game. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I barely thought to jump over there. I'm stupid. It's like then it's like I wrapping my mind on how they must have just played through and been like, Jim got to this one cheeky spot in this dungeon. We should put like a mushroom back there or something.
We should put a mushroom.
Or like we should put something cool back there. Yeah. There's a lot of shit in this game and also I also like the jumping because it also serves as another way to dodge attacks. Yeah. There are attacks where I think probably in this one, I don't do it here, but I think when he's doing this attack right here, actually, you could probably jump over that shockwave.
I bet.
As long as you're not colliding with like the enemy's like weapon when they're swinging attacks like that. If they're doing like a ground shockwave attack, like sometimes jumping is the only way to avoid attacks like that.
Yeah,
there are knights that you can fight that do a stomping attack that's sort of similar to like the Hoarfrost one, where it shoots like not projectiles, but like spikes up the ground, like in like a cone, not a cone, but like a triangle in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like pretty much the only way to avoid that attack completely is by jumping, which is cool. I love
really
that,
cool.
and that's sort of pulled from Sekiro.
Yeah,
which
I can't believe we haven't talked about that game yet. But
I mean, if we keep talking, I'm gonna start talking about it because I forgot that was sort of a thing I wanted to talk about. Well, it just branches off this. Is that like this feels like a game that sort of culminates everything that From Software has done up to this point, and then they added an open world.
Yeah.
Whereas like you got the jumping from Sekiro, and then you have like the parrying, or not the parrying, but like you can block attacks and then do like a counter attack.
Yeah, I like that.
Also sort of comes from Sekiro. I haven't fully pinned down what they pulled from Bloodborne, but I know something's the Caelid area. There's like a rotting area that definitely has Bloodborne vibes.
Yeah,
but isn't like totally. But
yeah.
The weapons are more fleshed out. I think there's a lot of more cooler weapons, and that's what I really like about Bloodborne is that all of the weapons have like personality, and
they're all cool.
Yeah, they're all cool, and that's because there's fewer of them.
Yeah,
there's probably hundreds of weapons in this game. Same thing with DS3. There's a lot of weapons, but if you had a straight sword in DS3, it had like one of two attack patterns.
Yeah,
it was either like a thrusting straight sword or like a slashing straight sword. They all sort of attacked the same.
Mm-hmm.
But in Bloodborne, it's like if you get you get a straight sword that you put into its sheath, which is a hammer, or you get a straight sword that you put into a sheath and it's a bigger fucking sword. It's a great sword.
Yeah,
there's shit like that where it's like all of the weapons have like personality, and I feel like there's a lot more weapons with personality in this game, and you have a lot of weapons with unique weapon arts.
Yeah,
so that would be something that I'm not. They probably didn't pull that from Bloodborne, but like that would be my. That's what I'd like to think.
Yeah,
is that they made the weapons have more personality and a little cooler.
I think so. Well, yeah, because they change when you have two of them, they're completely different.
Yeah, if we have two of the same weapon type, you can akimbo them basically, and they have like different
the attack patterns. Yeah,
it's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, so there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's very DS3. It plays very much like Dark Souls 3, or just the Dark Souls games in general. Like it doesn't play like Bloodborne. It doesn't play like Sekiro.
No.
So and then they added the open world and all that good stuff, and it has the same healing system as like Dark Souls 3. So it really does feel like they've learned after. They've
learned.
Like some game companies don't learn when they make games. They're just like, it's some board of crotchety old men who are like, this will sell well. Fuck
the
it.
next Call of Duty.
Let's make an open world because that's the new hip thing to do. And perhaps that's what they did, but they fucking nailed it.
Yeah, they killed it.
The open world is full of shit. The one thing that I do sort of have not a complaint about, but it's just like
you wish was better.
Yeah, is the crafting. For multiplayer, it's cool because you can craft the item that you use to summon people. So if you're like if you suck and you need a lot of them, then you can just craft it, and it's super easy to get. The crafting materials are everywhere in the world. But like I haven't really crafted a lot.
Yeah.
Being like, I don't know, 80 hours into my playthroughs, like I don't find myself crafting a lot. Maybe if you're using like bows a lot, that's a nice option where you don't have to buy arrows. But the arrows that you make are worse than arrows that you could buy. So it's like,
why do it?
Yeah, and I'm also not using like the cracked pot items and stuff like that. There are cool items, but I'm just not. I don't feel like I'm.
You don't want to do those. Like you're not driven to do that.
Yeah. Maybe that's just because I'm not. Playing it right. It's not that I'm not playing it right. You can play the game however you want, but I'm just not playing it that way.
Yeah, and it's probably a better crutch for someone who isn't playing, like isn't used to playing these games.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like it could be better.
Yeah.
Not that I don't know. The crafting in Breath of the Wild was a lot better because that was like what drives your health. So it's like
you could heal with it, and there are items that you can craft that like reduce damage that you take in this game. But
which is good. But like I don't know. I don't need that.
Yeah. It's a nice thing to have, but I just haven't really used it a whole lot.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because I don't need it, or I don't know. But again, they should, if they put it in there, they should find a use for it somehow.
Yeah, I think that's stupid that it doesn't the stuff you can craft for like weapons and things are worse because like those items are limited sale, right? Like you not like if you go to a traveling merchant or whatever, like they only have a couple of arrows, right? They don't have infinite.
I think some of the arrows, but I think some of like the basic arrows you can probably buy like infinitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But even like the bone, you make arrows out of bones with crafting, and those are just worse than like normal arrows. Not even like the fire arrows or something like that.
Yeah,
but you can craft them. So it's like kind of cool because it's like, well, I don't know. I don't want someone just being able to have like a million of the cool arrows, but
I don't know, dude. Why not? If that's your build,
true. You should just be. And
who does that hurt?
And yeah, true. And maybe you can find crafting recipes to make better arrows, but I don't think so because it's not like you pick up wood.
No, yeah,
you pick up bones. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be like one of my only gripes about this, other than like the normal Dark Souls things that aren't like, they don't bother me. I basically pad them off as Dark Souls things.
Yeah,
it's like,
it is
the
what it is.
quest lines are obnoxious, and if you do one thing, they're dead, and if you don't, then if you do some other innocuous thing, they don't die. You know, it's like oh, I beat this one boss because that's just where I was at the time, and now 12 NPCs are dead. Like 2 of them were important to complete the like one of the endings, and it's like
oh, you didn't go to the beginning area. Oh, he's dead now.
Yeah, it's like it's stuff like that where it's like it doesn't bother me because I've just I've phoned it off as like Dark Souls things, and it's to the point where I almost find it endearing, where it's like it's sort of their it's obnoxious, but they've done it so much that it's sort of their thing.
Yeah,
you know, and I come to understand it, but I could imagine if you were a new player to Elden Ring and you met an NPC that you really liked, like you really liked Rajier, the magician, or whatever, you found him and then you fucked up his quest line, but like, I don't even know what I did wrong.
Yeah, and now you're dead.
They don't really tell you. It's like, yeah, that's probably not great game design.
No,
but, you know,
no. But it is like, you know, it is kind of realistic in a way. You know what I mean?
True. Like I think that games being realistic isn't really a solid choice for most games.
Yeah, you know? That's fair.
It's like, I feel like the more people are like, oh man, in 20 years games are gonna be so realistic, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be fucking turning on my PS12 and then be clocking into work and being miserable. It's like, no, I don't want games to be more realistic. I want them to be fucking goofy. Like,
are you talking trash about the metaverse, bro?
Like, look at this fucking guy. I don't want to go shopping in Walmart. I hated that they showed that shit. It was like the one metaverse video I showed was like, this is how an average shopping trip in Walmart would be like. And I'm like, 1, I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
2, I don't want to go to Walmart.
I hate Walmart.
The only added benefit of me shopping at Walmart in the metaverse is no one else is fucking there. You know, it's like,
well, that's one of the main reasons why I hate Walmart. So.
True. But, I mean, me too. I'm a fucking shut-in. I hate people. You know, it's like, of course I don't want to, when I go to Walmart, I don't want to be around people, but I'm not physically buying anything in the metaverse. I don't know how that works.
Is it okay? Well, if you buy something there, does it not like ship to your house or something? That's what I would think you would do.
Yeah, but why not just go on Amazon? Why would I go through the process of like being in a fake Walmart if I don't have the product at the end of the trip?
Well, no, it ships to your house is what I'm saying. Like,
but not immediately.
No, but like, is that not the point of doing
stupid.
it? Well, what's the point of VR chat then? You could go jerk off in a room with a bunch of other freaks
in real life.
Yeah,
because there's big anime boobies. I don't know.
Guess what? They have those in real life.
Well, if the metaverse Walmart has big anime boobies, you'll see me there. But like, I'm not gonna be fucking shopping. But like, because why pretend to go to a store to not have the item at the end? The only reason I go to a store akin to buying something online is so I have the product right away.
Well, yeah, okay.
I would just go on Amazon and order it and then be like, this is the same experience except easier because I didn't have to like move my hands to put something into a cart. It's like to fake pretending like you did something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but what's the point of playing video games? You're moving sticks and buttons.
Because I enjoy it.
Well, some people enjoy shopping, buddy.
True.
Maybe not at Walmart.
I don't enjoy I do enjoy shopping, but I enjoy the part of having the product at the end of the trip. You know,
Yeah.
I hate every other minute of it. Every other minute of
That's
it,
fair.
I am stressed out and I hate it because there's people and sometimes they don't have the things I want. And I know the metaverse solves both of those things, but then I still don't have this shit at the end of the trip. And now we're not even talking about open. Well, is the metaverse open world? Can we tie that in somehow? Is the metaverse Walmart type? Well, it has to be open world because I have to be able to walk through that whole damn Walmart or I'm fucking asking for a refund.
True. Well, I don't know. Shopping at Walmart's hard, like Dark Souls.
Side quests?
That dude, never mind. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, probably best not.
Not saying that, but yes, there will probably be side quests at the metaverse Walmart.
Yeah,
It's just like Elden Ring, dude. It's hard. It's hard to reach your hand up in there and shop.
I better be able to roll.
You can jump. I don't know about rolling.
Were we so off topic now? I don't
Yeah.
remember what we were talking about.
How do we even get to the?
I don't even remember how we got to the metaverse.
I don't know.
Have you played Elden Ring since we played last?
No, I haven't.
I have.
I'm sure you have.
I'm sure. Yeah, you sure I have.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of. What have I even been playing? I haven't been playing a whole lot of games recently. Oh, the video looped again. I've been playing a little bit of Squad. I played Counter-Strike like once. Oh, I played a little bit of Bravely Default again. That's another one of those games where it's like I don't want to pick it up, and then you pick it up and you play it for like an hour and a half one night, and then you're like, oh, like I love this game.
Yeah,
you're like thinking about the plot.
Yeah,
and shit.
And that's worse too because like that's almost the good thing about Elden Ring is that like I'm never thinking about the plot. You know, it's like I just like man, I want to get to. It's like all I want to do is explore and like find some cool shit. Whereas like in an RPG, it's like what's driving you is the plot. You know, it's like and again, it's what Breath of the Wild I feel like had over this game. Majority was that the plot was mostly the driving point for me. When you're in the open world, yeah, it's like, oh, I see a shrine. Like let me see how I can get over there and figure out how to get over there. But in like this, it's like I forgot. I forgot what I was doing. I was just killing some dudes because I was killing some dudes. And again, I think even the other Souls games have sort of a better grapple on the plot because there's just so much to do in Elden Ring that you almost sort of forget.
Yeah, it really becomes just like go, you know.
Yeah. Which could work to its favor or against it, but you know, if you're a really plot heavy person, you're not going to like this game.
No,
because there are like intricate plot lines and quest lines and shit like that, but they're convoluted and you know sometimes annoying, and it takes a long time to make progress towards whatever the main plot is. You know, whereas like in Breath of the Wild, it's like, well, I gotta go quell the fury of the whatever spirit temples. I don't remember what they're called, the divine beasts.
Yeah.
And then I'm one down, 3 to go, and then I can go save Zelda.
Yeah, and then you climb up. Well, you don't even have to do them, but like, and then you're like, okay, I'll go climb this mountain. And then you're done, and you're like, cool, I did a shrine. I'm gonna go fucking
get
to the
another
next
heart.
town.
Yeah, or I can buff my stamina or something.
Yeah.
But even like in Dark Souls, it's like you're on a path, so you're not just like I'm fucking Hilbo or fucking Hilbo. I'm just some dude, and I just wandered into like 10 caves, and I've been doing that for 3 hours. And what was I doing again? Oh yeah,
yeah. You're like a king of like half-finished things.
Trying to kill shard bears and whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, like we talked about before, is that really a bad thing? The game is
it could also happen. It happens in like all open world games. Like if you get distracted doing all the side stuff, you'll probably somewhat forget the main plot. Like it's hard to tie in all of the side things into the main plot. You know, it's like me going into this cave and killing these dogs.
these
dogs has nothing to do with the plot. Going into the shrines doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, other than making you stronger. You wandering around Los Santos or San Andreas and blowing just people's brains out and just mowing them down until the cops come with their tanks and blow you up has nothing to do with the plot.
What's EXP, bro?
Not in GTA, not in Breath of the Wild.
It's not JRPG.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to. Yeah, and then that's the other thing. It's like why should they bother making new enemies? They made so many new enemies for just like these tiny little dungeons that don't show up in the overworld. It's like, why bother if it's not super important?
Yeah.
Other than for it to be cool. I think there are bosses that are just like unique to the catacombs too.
Oh really? Yeah, I haven't seen those.
I don't think show up. I don't think the watchdogs show up at all, like in the overworld. Although they reuse that boss, they reuse a couple other bosses, but it's like I don't know. They're usually thematic in some manner.
Yeah,
it feels like there was more thought than like, oh, let's just copy and paste a Goomba in here or something.
let's fucking just change the color
just
scheme
copy and
on
paste
him.
that guy into this one. Whatever.
He's got more health now.
No one's gonna do this dungeon anyway. We'll hide it in the corner of the map. It's no one's gonna find this shit.
Yeah,
it feels like that. It was either they were like, we'll make this at least thematic, and or like we'll make this cave findable. I don't think I've encountered any of them that I'm like this is. Just
I would never have found this.
Asinine to find, and no one should find this.
No one should find this.
No one should.
Don't look for this.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think they did a pretty good job about that. I feel like the world is way denser than Breath of the Wild, and I know that's a hot topic, and I don't always agree with it, and it doesn't always matter. I don't think it makes this game better than Breath of the Wild, but it is much denser.
It can play to both of its. It can play to both an advantage and a disadvantage. It could be so dense that people don't want to. Like they just get tired of like exploring, and it's like, and again, if it's so dense, but you have to fill that dense world with like interesting things.
Yeah,
like I said, it's like sometimes the items are just not fucking worth it. It's like if I'm playing alone, I'm not going to make that jump to get that furl calling finger remedy that's only used in multiplayer. It's like and if I know that's there, I'm not going to make that jump. There's
mushroom.
There are things that are there, but is it always like? Is the joke funny every time?
Yes, actually, the more it's annoying, the funnier it gets.
But every time you play through, you're gonna go back to re-experience the joke. If you're by yourself, like, ha, it's a mushroom again.
Yeah, no,
nice,
no,
nice,
yeah.
Whereas like and yes, having a completely empty open world is not great, but
Pokemon. No, just kidding. I've not played any of those.
I would
games.
say you haven't played Arceus.
No,
which
that was the complaint for Sword and Shield.
Okay, I need to think about this because I was thinking like we need to think of more open world games, and that's an open world game that came out recently, and I have played it. I haven't beaten it, but it is fairly empty.
Really.
Yes, the most of the stuff that everything that you find are either Pokemon or like items that you can craft with, and the crafting materials are useful because like you craft all of your Pokeballs, you craft all of your like stuff to like hide yourself from enemies or enemies Pokemon or that you can like bait Pokemon with. I keep calling them enemies.
Items,
and some are useful, some are not from what I've found. So like, and then you craft like potions and stuff because of the battling. You use a good battle in that game.
Yeah.
But other than that, like there aren't really interesting spots to find other than like, oh, there's a Pokemon that spawns here, but you're not gonna find them if you don't go over there. It's like the terrain options, not options, but I can't think
variety.
The terrain variety is not like
mind-blowing,
super mind-blowing. Whereas like, I don't know, we're walking around in this like foresty area. If you go east of here, you end up in this like weird like chicken pox ridden like weird area.
Yeah.
And then if you go north, there's like a big lake that's like foggy and it like changes a little bit. And then there's like a volcano you haven't even seen. Then you've got the capital, which is like mostly buildings and stuff, which is cool. It's like you have that, whereas like in Arceus, it's like there's like the main area, it's the grassland, and then you go to the next area, and it's like a swamp where it's still kind of grasslandy, but there's like swamp waters there, and it's just kind of like bleh. The color palette, and the swamp, which I mean, like it's a swamp, so whatever.
Yeah,
and then
it's
you go
ugly.
to the next area, and it's like kind of a grassland, but it's mostly water, and you like surf in that area. And it's like and there were a lot of people complaining about how the game looks. I've never really been a big like graphic gamer, although I think Elden Ring looks very good.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, although some people are like, this game looks shit too. I think those people just have weird expectations.
Yeah.
But also, I think that in Arceus, they just went for a style, and that style is just
kind of cartoony.
Yeah, well, because I feel like they went for like a Japanese like ink brush sort of like overtone as well. It's just like strange. I would feel that it's a very like divisive sort of, where it's like you could go safe and just be like, it looks like every other 3D Pokemon game, or it's like they could have done that. And,
little anime.
Yeah, sure, it's not graphically impressive because they went for a style, but it's whatever. I don't. If the game plays, if I have fun playing the game, I'm gonna have fun playing the game. I don't care if it's 2 pixels bouncing across the screen. It's Pong.
Yeah, that's a Pong joke.
Yeah, but and it's 1 pixel, I guess. Whatever.
Well, I guess there's 3 pixels. Right?
Well, there's paddles. That's more. But yeah,
I guess
yeah. It's never been about that for me, and I understand that it's important for some people, but it's
not for me.
This game definitely looks better, but that's because it's on a later console. It's the Switch is older and has never been,
a graphic powerhouse.
Yeah,
it's a mobile console.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have some exceptions, but it's usually like, wow, this game looks really good for the Switch. It's almost always that with Nintendo consoles. It's like, man, this game looks really good for the Wii. This game looks really good for the Wii U. But
like you're expecting it to be bad.
It's mostly because they're just a console generation behind because they don't care. They're not releasing their consoles when Xbox and PlayStation do because they don't care. They operate on a different market, and some people say that it's because they're anti-consumer, and I don't necessarily believe that, but they do make weird choices.
Well, yeah, they make really strange choices.
They make very strange choices sometimes, and sometimes like, all right, Nintendo, okay, but you still have some of my favorite games, so I can't say no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they just have, they're not only thinking about the American market and all that. And I don't know. This isn't a debate whether Nintendo good or Nintendo bad.
Yeah, exactly. I like Nintendo. If you hate Nintendo, you can hate me. But... No. Yeah, fuck you. You suck and you're wrong. Get fucked. Yeah, you're wrong. We make hard, like, left and right choices here. No other way. No, I don't care. If you hate Nintendo, you hate Nintendo.
Get bodied by an amputee.
Your choice, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
I happen to like them, and if you don't respect my opinion while I respect yours, then okay, actually fuck you. Then actually fuck you. But it's like as long as I'm chill with you and you're chill with me, then it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arceus is fun, but I think that again, the world is fairly empty other than finding crafting materials. I would guess you're more inclined to fighting Pokemon, one because it's kind of fast, and two because that's sort of the point. Is that like you have to either battle or catch Pokemon because you're trying to fill up the decks. I feel like that sort of makes you like want to like fight, because like you could just fight a Pokemon a lot to fill out its decks, or you could like catch it a bunch.
Yeah.
Or you could like catch it in a different way or fight it in a different way, and it like fills it up faster. So like you're sort of inclined to like fight Pokemon and stuff like that. And then they have like these events that like open up this weird portal like dome thing that like random Pokemon can show up and they just spawn everywhere, and they're like immediately aggressive towards you, and it's like really easy to find shinies or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's like stuff going on, but I haven't really felt like, man, I want to explore every nook and cranny of this continent or this part of the map, because it's just like there's just more of kind of the same Pokemon, and maybe there's one different Pokemon. Maybe there's like an elite Pokemon. Yeah. It's like, what am I really gonna find? Like, there isn't like a chest at the end. Usually
new
like,
clothes or item or
Xenoblade 2, where it's like they put something there. It's like it's usually like,
or you could get a blade or something.
You get the feeling where it's like, all right, if I did a side quest, it probably would have taken me here. It's like, and that's how it is in like Xenoblade 1, where it's like there's some of the like scenic areas, like the secret areas that you go to if you have to go to if you do like some of the like side quest lines that aren't as interesting as like the interesting ones, which is like you have this weird like tier system of like the super interesting ones that are really cool, and then like these medium interesting ones that have like characters with names, but they don't do anything, and they're just kind of like go to this place and do this thing, and then you have like the stupid like the definitely like not interesting ones. The mindless ones that are just like, go kill 10 enemies and then I'll direct deposit 10,000 gold into your account.
I'll Venmo you money.
Yeah, I'll Venmo you money. So it's like you get that if you do all of the side things, then that's like not I don't. Unless I really love a game, I'm not doing that.
No.
Whereas in like, I mean, I guess I do really love Elden Ring, so I am trying to do all this stuff. But also, like, I feel rewarded for going to, doing these weird like side spots, and I get experience, and that's important for the game. It's not like,
mindless.
Yeah, I go into a cave and I get experience, but like I don't need to level up. I don't I don't need to do that if I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like it feels important if I want to have a good time.
Yeah. Well, and combat is a huge part of Elden Ring, right? So like it's really rewarding. In Breath of the Wild, I don't really feel like combat's for as much as you would think. I don't really feel like it's all that much.
I think that is one of the complaints that Breath of the Wild got, was that like the combat was pretty like it was passable, like it was fine, but it was like when you had like an axe, it just had 3 attacks, and then like I found myself like sort of using like my own like made up strategy was like I would use like the big like swinging weapons, and then you would swing twice and then do a jumping attack because it like felt like it came out faster, or it did more damage or something. It was like I never used like the normal like attack combo because like I felt like this way was different, but that was like the only sort of like the gameplay decision, like combat decision that I made, was like I had my own little attack pattern that I liked, and then other than that, it was like there was only one other. You just did your swinging attacks, and you had options of weapons, and then you could use a bow, but like sometimes you couldn't. It's like sometimes it wasn't viable to do that. Like once you got up in the face of an enemy, it's like, well, I have to. And trust
flurry
me,
attack.
Yeah, trust me. I've seen all of the crazy Breath of the Wild like people doing crazy shit, and it's incredibly impressive, but it's way beyond my capabilities. It's like I just want to swing my sword, and I can't fast swap to a bomb and put it under a platform, and I use the like pause thing, and that bomb sets the thing off. It like points in a direction, and then I like hit it, and I go flying across the map, and from space like headshot an
360
enemy.
no scope.
And then they explode. Some crazy shit.
Ladder
it's
stall.
Really cool, and every time those videos come up in like my feeds, I always watch them to the end because it's like fucking pure serotonin in my brain. Dopamine is like it's so good.
Yeah.
And that's great, but I think that system is flawed, or not flawed, but just it's simple.
Well,
but you can expand on it.
Yeah, your answer was in what you said basically right there, is that like it's cool. Those videos are cool because they're making something out of basically nothing.
Yeah.
They're doing something impressive out of something that didn't have any variety to it. Yeah. But yeah, and my chief complaint, I think, is probably the weapon durability.
Yeah, the weapon durability.
That really fucking
which they actually took out of this game.
Yes, which is really cool, because who wants that?
Literally, I mean, in DS3, it was very. It had already sort of been like they kind of already put it on the chopping block, because like once you rested at a bonfire, your weapons repaired themselves. Already, whereas in like Dark Souls 1. I guess we should have started this by saying which Dark Souls games we've played. But so we played DS1 all the way through. We played Dark Souls 3 all the way through many times. We played Bloodborne through all the way many times. We haven't played Dark Souls 2 because
we just haven't yet.
Yeah, it hasn't had like a remaster or anything lately that has been easily accessible, and we like to do it multiplayer
in person.
I'm interested in playing it, but I'm not like itching to play it.
No,
we started playing through Demon Souls as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like so in like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, you have to go to a shop basically to repair your weapons, and it's like, all right, well, if you play too much and your weapon breaks, it doesn't break, period, like in Breath of the Wild, where it's like, okay, if you use a weapon too many times, it breaks, and then you have to go find another weapon.
Too many times, dude. Some of the enemies you can't even get through without breaking.
And I think that's sort of the main problem, because like it's kind of interesting to have to like, all right, well, my weapon broke, so I have to go find another one. It's like, and I have to get it off an enemy, or I have to go find it, and that's kind of an interesting sort of game loop. But the Master Sword breaks, which is kind of annoying.
That right there is like,
it's like this should be like the ultimate thing, and I feel sort of like iffy on it, because I feel like if it didn't break, you just wouldn't use anything else. But it is the Master Sword, so it's like it should feel a little like more. It's like maybe I want that power. It's like maybe I want that rush. It's like I don't want to use anything else because this is the Master Sword.
Yeah,
there's
progression, and that adds to it because there's progression there.
Yeah, and then in DS3 they let it so that if you rest at a bonfire, your weapon repairs itself. So unless you have a weapon with incredibly low durability,
which
there are weapons that are like that, or you have a weapon, or you just haven't rested at a bonfire because you like don't need to. You're either like you haven't healed lately because you're epic, you're an epic gamer, and you're just good.
A boss fight or something,
you're just better, or, you just haven't done it. Like maybe your weapon will be at a chance of breaking, but it's so like it happens so rarely.
Yeah, it's a non-issue.
Yeah, you rest at bonfires fairly frequently.
Yeah,
just to like top off and stuff. And in this game, they just got rid of it completely, even though they probably didn't need to because there are so many bonfires that you could rest at. Like they could have kept it and it wouldn't have mattered, but they got rid of it probably because of the open world. Because like and that's probably why they added the flask thing too, is that when you kill groups of enemies in the open world, you get flasks back, probably so you're not stopping at bonfires all the time. You like if you see one, you just light it and it's like, oh, I don't need to rest, I'm capped off, like I'm topped off, like I'm good. You know, probably the same thing with the weapon. Is like they probably just didn't want you to stop all the time.
But I mean, they could have done the same thing with the flasks, though. You know, like they could have just said, like, "Oh, you get all your flasks back, and you get
at the bonfire."
No, when you kill a group of enemies, they could have said, like, "Oh, and your weapons are repairs." Yeah, but it just doesn't add anything to the game.
True. Yeah, it really doesn't. It's just sort of an inconvenience.
Literally, that's all it is. You know, it's like, oh, I have to either stop, go back to Firelink, or use an item. Like,
it's almost the game designer's way of saying, like, "Fuck you." You just like we're having too much fun. You know, it's like we need to get one up on you a little bit.
Yeah,
and maybe that's where From Software got their kicks on putting mushrooms out, like hard to get to places. Like, well, you know, but this will be a little more funny.
yeah. Well, there's like, you know, there's punishing problems and like making the game hard, but like I don't really think that makes the game hard.
No, you know? It's just puts you in a situation where it's like, now I can't do anything, or like now I have to use this shitty weapon, or
yeah, exactly.
You end up really liking a weapon, and then when it breaks, it breaks.
Yeah,
and that's the thing in this game. It's like if you really like a weapon, that's kind of your shtick.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
It's not like in Breath of the Wild where it's like, well, just
you blow through like 8 axes. You know what I mean? It's
like,
oh, I gotta go farm.
You end up just farming that type of weapon because you like it so much.
Yeah,
it's the best weapon that you have. You know, it's like I never really found myself using the situational, like, oh, this one does lightning damage and that's good against whatever. You know.
Yeah.
I only ever used it when I absolutely had to.
Or I would use it if I had it, but I would never like go like, oh, I'm having trouble with an enemy, because you don't have trouble with enemies in those games.
Yeah.
I'm
really laying it out on Breath of the Wild.
I am. I didn't think I'd be doing this.
I'm betraying my own feeling.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially for someone who is just saying like, yeah, I can't play Elden Ring over like I can't play it a second time.
Yeah,
you know, I'm really shitting
like,
on
I easily played Breath of the Wild like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I almost want to play it again. I almost want to play it again emulated with like 60 frames.
Maybe you like it. Maybe you like all the weird things that you don't like about it. You say you don't like about it.
Maybe I truly am a masochist, and that's why.
but in that way,
yeah.
Where it's like I'll die to the same boss 20 times if I think that I've even got a foothold.
Yeah.
And you just like being inconvenienced.
God, I hate having fun.
Yeah. God, something needs to stop me from having fun right now. I wish my weapon would break. Have you thought, well, here's the question. Have you thought that while we were playing Dark Souls?
What?
Like, man, this boss is really I'm just having too much fun. I think my weapon, like, I feel like my weapon needs to break or something for me to stop having fun right now. God, it would just be so inconvenient if my weapon broke.
Please do it.
Please.
No, yeah. It just never added anything to the game, and I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah. You know.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild 2. Better fucking.
Master Sword. Yeah. It's just like I said, there's progression there. You know, it's like it's okay if it's the best weapon in the game. It's the Master Sword.
Yeah, you had to get however many hearts to get it, and pulling the Master Sword out was cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah,
and then it's sort of belittled by the fact that I can only use it like 100 swings.
It needs to charge.
Yeah, it needs to charge.
Yeah, stupid. Like it's the sword that seals away the darkness, and then it's like, yeah, but like you get the Royal Guard sword and it does more damage. Like, well, you know. Like, I want the thing to be a fucking, like, badass.
Yeah.
Like, even if it doesn't have the...
It's not even necessary to beat the game, right?
No, I don't think so, no.
It's optional. Yeah, just make it fucking busted.
Yeah. You know what's cool, though? Well, and I'm okay with making it a little harder to get if you make it busted. What is cool, though, is that the DLC thing... I think if you beat it and it's, like, really hard, I think if you beat it, you get the Master Sword unlimited charge, and it's always on, like, Guardian mode.
That's cool.
I think that's a paid DLC.
Oh, so I have to pay to get it, Ben?
Yeah. Well, you have to pay to get the opportunity to get it.
It's to pay to get the opportunity to have the unlimited Master Sword.
Yeah. But I think that's cool.
See, Nintendo is anti-consumer.
They hate us.
Yeah.
Damn them.
I mean, that's cool.
I think that's a cool thing. I never did it. Actually, I couldn't do it. Like, I tried a couple times, and it was too hard for me.
Wow.
And I just gave up.
Souls games.
Yeah. I remember specifically getting to it's like they take away everything, right?
Yeah.
You get nothing, and then it's like an enemy rush.
So it's like that island.
Yes,
but it's like an enemy rush. Yeah.
I think they take away everything. I'm pretty sure they take away everything.
Interesting.
Or maybe they just take away the map. No, I think they take away everything.
Yeah, I never played the DLC or anything like that.
It's actually fun. Except for I got to this part where like you get to this spot where like there's a dock, and there's two Lizalfos that like they're like the max level basically, and then they like just spit at you and they like one tap you basically, and you have nothing. You have no armor. Like there's limited food because it's just whatever you find in the rooms and whatever you haven't used. So like my strat most of the time was go up into the tree and collect all the the food and stuff, and then you just get the bombs. You just throw them over and over again until enemies died. And it's kind of like cheesy, but it's like, okay, well, I need my item durability because the ship breaks so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I was also doing it on a master mode, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, so it was even harder.
I was doing literally the hardest thing in the entire game.
Yeah.
But like you get to that area and it's like your weapons all break, and it's like, okay, if you don't hit the enemies fast enough, they heal. So it's like, because it's master mode, so it's like you got to do a shitload of damage really quick and not take any damage. And like I was just like I finished that part and I was like, there's no way I could do that. Like I was like, I don't know how I could do that.
I gotta tap out. This game's too hard. This game for children is too hard.
It's hard,
but it looks like a cartoon, so it's for children.
Oh yeah, well we learned our lesson with Bug Snacks. So let's not say that ever again.
Yeah, I ever played Bug Snacks. Damn, that game looks like a kid's game, but holy shit.
I'm loving it. I'm wondering what other kind of games are like that we could play.
I mean, all of the games that company makes
are a little fucky.
They made Octodad.
Is that game a little fucky? I've never played that game.
It might not be fucky like that, but it's definitely weird. You're definitely an octopus who everyone who you are around thinks you're a human and you're married and have kids. I think.
You're an Octodad.
You're an Octodad, and everyone thinks you're a human, and that's the whole point, is that you're trying to pretend to be a human. If you fuck up being a human, like pretending to be a human enough, then you lose. It's like
really,
yeah. You've never seen Octodad?
No.
We should play it.
You think?
Maybe not for like a series, but we could get a couple episodes out of it.
You think?
Now we're talking about our YouTube,
or we could stream it. Yeah. Follow us on YouTube.
I think that would actually make decent episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it has like levels. They're like levels. They're not like it's not like a story thing. I mean, there's like an overplot, like an overarching story,
plot,
but they're like levels where it's like you just try to do, So I feel like it would be pretty good episodic.
Yeah.
Like a stream,
I would do it.
Yeah. After Bug Snacks, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, young horses, we're doing it for you, baby.
We're dropping it live.
Horses,
giving you the tease.
Yeah. Young Horses sounds like a rap name, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Young Horses.
Yeah, Young Horses
in the house.
Yeah, no,
that's what rappers
DJ
say nowadays, right?
Young Horses. But yeah, I'd be down to play that. Sure. It sounds funny, which is I'm always up for a good laughing game.
Is Bug Snacks an open? No, Bug Snacks isn't an open world game.
It kind of depends how you define open world.
Open world is and that's the problem, is that fucking no one knows how to explain open world. Is open world that you have access to, like in this game, it's like you have access to all of the world from the start. You could go anywhere from the start.
Do you actually? You don't have to go through Stormville Castle to get to some areas?
No, you can go around Stormville. That's
That's
actually how I did it the first time.
Really?
Remember where we came out of Stormville Castle through that weird like crypt thing? We got the we got the grape. We picked the grape off the ground. You can go around
the grape.
There's a cave over there as well. There's a dungeon over there as well. You can go up around there and just walk around. So I went into that room before fighting Godric.
Really?
Yeah. And I picked up that grape early, and I was like, all right, I don't know what this grape is
cool,
for.
A grape.
Yeah. I was like, and that's why I read the description. It's not a grape.
It's not a grape.
It's not a grape.
It's soft and chewy.
Yeah, and you feed it to someone, which is and you don't tell them that it's not a grape.
Yeah, you're a real piece of shit.
Yeah, I got that earlier, which is why I read the description of the item, because like, or why did I run to this room that only had a grape in it? Also, why is there a grape here? And the dude next to the grape says something about grapes.
Oh, grape!
Yeah. Oh, my grape! But yeah, so I walked in that room, and there's like a big chair You can walk into there, and then on the other side of the door in that like chair room is Godric, basically. I did not know that. Did not know that until I beat him, and then I walked through. I was like, this is where that fucking is. I walked in here so early.
The breakdancing fool
Yeah,
Godric.
yeah, and then the lady isn't there until you beat Godric, but. Yeah. So I had been there.
No
before.
shit.
So yeah, you can get to Liurnia beforehand. So I'm pretty sure like you could just go anywhere on the map. So it's like, is that open world, or do you actually, or is it? And I think you can do that in this game as well. Is like, do you actually have to just be able to walk into the final boss? Is that also a prerequisite, or is it just having access to the world, or having access to most of the world, and then like some areas are blocked off? Like I would say the ability, like you have to be able to explore the world,
the whole world,
the entire world, not necessarily the final boss, although that's a cool thing, but like I can't even imagine it. Like it's doable.
It's
it's
novelty.
doable, but like by a god, you know.
Yeah.
If you do it, I will allow you to be my god. I will
allow you to step on me.
I will create a religion, because like
surely people
it's I haven't seen the final boss in this game. I have to imagine it's just like
nuts.
You get one shot by like normal bosses, you know. It's like
true.
Like I managed to beat, like with this character that you're seeing after like our episodes, I leveled up with him like 5 times or something. I was level 12 and I beat Margit, and that felt like a trial. I felt powerful after doing that.
Yeah.
And I have this bleed weapon which does a lot of damage to Margit, but like, you know, so it was kind of cheesy. It wasn't like super legit, I guess, if you really want to say it like that. Well, so you really want to put it that way. But I beat him solo. I was level 12, and all I did was
that's good.
Yeah, it you know, it wasn't like. And after, you know, this was after I'd got my ass handed to him 20 times on my other character, so I had his moveset pretty down. I had how I liked to fight him.
Yeah.
You know, and it took me like 2 or 3 tries with this character, but I did do it. And that felt powerful. But it's like, how do you go and beat the final boss in this game? How are you just not getting one tapped without like just right away? You know, it's like, and they've done it in Breath of the Wild, right? Someone's beat Ganon just like completely naked with like the stick, or he probably had other
I don't think you can do a stick.
I was saying he had to have other weapons, but
durability, buddy.
Yeah, but you know, you had like someone's had to have done that, I think.
Yeah,
right.
Surely.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure someone's probably on the precipice of doing that with this game if it hasn't already been done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this game's been out for a couple weeks, so
it's probably already been done.
Yeah, it's probably already been done, if not in the workings. I'm sure some maniac's trying to do it right now, and I'm about to be religious again. But like, you know, I don't find that needs to be necessary for an open world game. You know, it's like
I don't think so.
And I don't think that it also that like, all right, if the world is open and I can explore it all, then I should be able to do it all like pretty easily. It's like, no, there should be areas that are like, this is the final area. Like if I go into fucking Caelid, I want to get my ass kicked because the area looks fucking crazy. You know, it's like you go there and there are T-Rex dogs. They're dogs. There's like a T-Rex, but it's a dog. So it's got little tiny front hands. It's got a giant dog head, but it's it looks like a T-Rex. It's not massive, but like it's big. They're
bigger than you.
Yeah, they're bigger than you. They're not like T-Rex size. But yeah, and then they have giant fucking crows that fly, like they're huge, and they have huge like beaks with teeth in them. I don't want it like I don't want that area to be easy.
No,
that's not satisfying.
That sounds like it should be like,
it looks like it should be the last area. And that's why I'm scared of fighting the next like main boss, because he's in that area.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I'm like, this place is already fucked, and I've seen very, very short clips of his fight just because they show up on my fucking For You page and other shit. So I've just seen like very short, you know, it's like a train wreck. I have a hard time looking away because it's not that it's like brutal. It's just, it's very cool. So I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to, oh no, gotta scroll past. I don't want spoilies.
Yeah.
No spoilies. But I've just seen segments of people riding their horse in his boss fight. I'm like, man, do you need to actually ride your horse while fighting this guy? Fuck. That is not something I've had to do for any of the bosses yet.
Oh, so learn how to do horse combat?
You probably could have, but like, well, like it might be necessary to avoid some attacks. Yeah, I know when you fight the dragons, sometimes it's nice to have the horse to like avoid certain attacks. But yeah, I also know he does some crazy shit. So yeah, I'm a little scared. But it's like I don't think that should be a requirement for open worlds. I don't think that it should like, oh, I could do anything at my own pace. It's like, no, I feel like there should be some sort of like this is easier than this, and like even if it's not like super straightforward like Breath of the Wild, it's like you can do the divine beasts like kind of in any order.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But it's not like that game is also not where it's like, all right, well, this guy just one taps you. It's like,
yeah, there's no progression there.
yeah,
Or less progression. I should say.
I feel like there should be a little bit where it's like, well, this one's kind of harder, so people do it like later. It's like you could fight the bosses out of order in this game, and you could do it like
get your ass kicked.
True, but you could do it pretty easily. I feel like we could have fought the Shard Bear after Godric and been fine.
Yeah,
it's just not that hard of a fight, but also like I don't think the level differences were too much. But if there's options like that where it's like, oh, you can end up here, you can end up there, and do that. It's like that's cool. But I think open world should just like basic. If you're gonna have that tag in your game, like you should just should be able to explore the whole world. It's like like as quickly as possible after the tutorial. It's like you have that area in Breath of the Wild where you have to do the whole plateau before you go off, and I almost felt that was too long.
Yeah.
Whereas like this, it's like you walk there. You could do the side tutorial area, but even when you do that, it's super short.
Yeah.
It's like a couple rooms, and it's like it just gets you to learn the game, and they do give you a lot of mechanics in Breath of the Wild's first tutorial area.
That's true.
So it's like maybe
there are a lot of mechanics.
Yeah, so they took it's a little, maybe it took a little longer.
Yeah.
But, it's like Breath of the Wild to me almost isn't open world. It is because once you get off the plateau, then you're free. But like that first plateau area is like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
It could take a bit. So it's like, is it? I mean, it is. I would say
undoubtedly.
And you could almost say that any game is open world if you expand that to like, oh well, the whole game takes 40 hours, but then you can walk around the entire map if you want. It's like, can you explore the world within a good amount, a short enough time?
Yeah.
And
are most of the areas connected?
Most of the areas connected. Are there things to do? I mean, I guess not. If you want GTA is, that kind of stuff is technically open world, but
yeah,
at the base, can you explore the whole world? Like, are all the areas connected? Can you explore the whole world pretty early on in the game?
Yeah,
pretty much my definition of open world.
I think that I don't know that I would say that Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild are even different in that regard, because when you think about it, Breath of the Wild has it coddles you a little more, so it gives you a little more explanation on stuff, and it wants to baby you through the tutorial a little bit. But the other thing is that I don't know, I'd say probably 90% or more of the game's tutorial is in the Great Plateau, right?
Great Plateau, yeah.
Think about how much tutorial and description and hint screens and learning you do after you leave the first Grace. There's a ton.
Yeah.
So I think Breath of the Wild just front loads it, whereas this game spreads it out. So it feels different, but I really think it is the same.
I probably haven't even really noticed it because I don't read that shit because we've played Dark Souls games 1,000 times.
Well, yeah, and it's you're not going to use Ashes of War, so you never read that shit.
Yeah, I knew how they worked, but I was like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, but I mean, there's...
Yeah. I mean, I'm not giving it enough. Yeah, I'm not being fair enough.
Think about what's the thing we just got after beating the breakdancing guy, Godric?
The Great Rune.
Yeah, I mean, that was a whole explanation. You had to double back and do all that shit again and figure that out. I don't know. The Breath of the Wild just is here's all the tools you're ever going to see because there's only a handful of them, but you need to learn them really well.
And then everything after that is just growing on that. Using that stuff in different ways. Yeah.
Applying and expanding. Yeah, and there's a lot of explanation in this game. There's a lot of mechanics and stuff.
I do a good job about that actually in Breath of the Wild. I remember,
It's just the problem is that they front load it, so it's if you've played the game already, it's okay.
You have to go through that shit again, and you're like, all right, I get it. I know how to use the fucking bomb.
Yeah. I know what the plot is. There's no new spoilers there. Just let me play the game.
Yeah, grinding through that first part could be tough.
It can be annoying.
Yeah, because you have to do it.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I think that they're both equally open world in that regard.
Oh yeah, for sure. So. It's just that first part is a little long. The tutorial dungeon in this is just longer.
Yeah.
But not in this. The equivalent of that in Breath of the Wild. It's just longer.
Yeah.
The tutorial dungeon, quote unquote. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I wouldn't say that this is tutorials. I think it's easy. It's this game is this part of the game is absolutely soft.
Well, I'm talking about the first tutorial dungeon, not this part.
Oh yeah,
not this dungeon. That first one. That's you walk through and it prompts you with pop ups. They're this is how you walk. It's cool, nice.
Yeah. This is how you
Don't know
walk.
how I got here in the first place, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Who is reading that right now?
Exactly.
Yeah. If you need instructions on how to walk, then you probably this game is not probably.
Yeah.
like,
Whereas
it's not for you.
that little tutorial area could probably take you like 20, 30 minutes, I guess, if you're really like reading and like practicing. I guess
Maybe.
I would say shorter, but I'm being nice.
I'm a gamer.
I've seen people die in that area.
Oh, no,
I know.
come on.
I know.
Well,
That's why I'm like maybe a little longer. Whereas you know,
Yeah.
you also have to walk to different spots in the Breath of Wild's tutorial.
Yeah.
You know, you're going, which is sort of introducing like you gotta find the shrines, and it tells you how to find the shrines and all this stuff.
You gotta
Whereas,
climb.
Like, where in this game it's like there are caves. You might not even know that.
Yeah, go in.
You know, it's like you might literally follow where the sites of grace point you in as the eagle flies, and you might see nothing.
True, that's literally true.
It's like, and then you might get fucked by Margit because that's what happens. You know?
That's
It's
true.
Like, I apparently don't understand how people play games. Like how normal people play games, because I've been playing games all my years now. I'm 80 years old and it's all I've ever done. And it's like some people pick up Dark Souls games and they're just like, I don't know how to swing weapon. It's R1.
How do you walk?
R1? What,
Do I burn undead bones?
Yeah, R1 is throw grenade. You know, or it's like pass the football in like my sports game that is the only video game I play. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm a casual.
I don't think like the average like working man gamer, I guess. I don't know.
The average Dark Souls enjoyer?
No, not that. Well, and that's the thing, is that like there are a lot of people who are drawn to this game, and I think because gaming is becoming more mainstream.
Mhm.
I hate that word,
Ugh.
but like it is, that like a lot of people picked up Elden Ring because one, it was this phenomenon. You know, it's like this game was, everyone knew about, you know, sort of knew about, like, oh, this game that got teased like 12,000 years ago, and then, you know, it was like, you know, people were mad that
George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, that wasn't getting talked about, and then there's George R. R. Martin that was part of it. So if you liked Game of Thrones and you were into George R. R. Martin shit, you might have heard about it.
Yeah.
You know, and then when it comes out, like, you know, Twitch is bigger now. You know, YouTube has streaming.
TikTok.
YouTube is just like a thing now. Fucking grandparents know about YouTube. TikTok. Yeah, like that shit can bleed onto your, you know, For You page if you happen to like even care about video games to the slightest, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like there are a lot of people who've never even heard of Dark Souls that are probably playing Elden Ring. So it's like,
True.
To them, hitting R1 to attack is like, what? You know?
It was a little off-putting for me the first time I played a game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's like, and we were, you know, quote unquote gamers back then too. Although I was a terrible gamer even like 2 years ago. Probably
2 years.
Maybe not
now.
2 years ago. No, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I was before I started playing Dark Souls games. Probably my first character of playing Dark Souls, I was just terrible at video games. I'm just going to admit it. Yeah. I'm just gonna admit that I was just garbage at video games in general because I would just not pick up on shit, and that's the point that those people are at. So it's like, of course, people are gonna die in that fucking opening area, and they're not gonna figure. You know, it's gonna be harder for them.
Yeah, playing Dark Souls is absolutely a skill.
Yeah,
it's not just playing a game or getting good. It's literally a skill.
Yeah,
like you have to know to be alert. You know, you have to know, look at someone and be like, okay, when he swings that way, he's probably open, and I bet I could fucking stand there if I wanted to.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
And if it's the first like enemy in the game, he might kill me. You know, he could. There's a good chance that guy is like gonna do probably just as much damage as I might to him. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, and if you get caught, if he hits you once, and then his buddy comes up and wombos you, you're done.
Yeah, or if
it doesn't matter how good you are.
A combo himself, like, you know, if he's not, he might just not just swing his sword once. There are dagger guys in this game that swing their weapon like 7 times, and it's like if you don't know that you can roll out of that, or if you like are out of stamina or whatever the case is, you could easily die to that.
Yeah. Combo. Oh yeah.
You know, it's like some people don't even know that like when you get hit, you can roll out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
sometimes.
And then it gives you like iframes and stuff. It's like I just didn't know. Like I've never played a Souls game, so it didn't occur to me.
I played a Souls games and still, you know,
I still don't understand everything that's going on.
I still die to thralls all the time.
Yeah, Ben dies to the guys that I almost die to in the dungeon in this fucking repeating loop. Is a classic enemy that Ben dies to all the time.
It's a variation on a classic
variation.
They're actually easier in the other games, and I die to those more often.
Yeah. Yep.
So, Yeah, I don't know. I really do like that fact though. You know, it's like
That there's like the Goombas can kill you. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
a little less so in this game. The Goombas are really stupid in this game.
Oh
It's
yeah.
fine.
I guess it kind of has to be that way because like it would be so impeding to exploration if every enemy was like fucking.
And in the later areas, there's a lot less Goombas too, which makes sense because
Yeah.
But yeah, especially in this beginning area, like the Goombas that are in front of this temple that we're going to, like they're just like they're two shots and they actually run away and cower from you if like you kill one of them. Or
Yeah.
some of them legit just like run away and cower from you and don't even try to fight.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It's kind of actually kind of a waste to have them anywhere but like right here, you know? Like if you're a new player.
I don't think they're really in any dungeons.
No, but like I mean, even like after the the Grace right in front of the bridge where the horse guy is.
Yeah.
It like the Goombas past there. It's like if you got that far, you know how to fight.
Right.
Like, what is the Goomba adding to your...
Exactly. Other than there's like a huge group of them behind that one cart.
That's fine.
Yeah, because they all do attack you and they could like group up on you pretty easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's like ones with magic
and guys are just like.
It's like okay, I get a couple souls out of this guy, but like if I was other than like a brand new player, it's like what do I get out of this guy?
I'm not learning anything.
Yeah. And this guy is actually kind of not difficult, but like I still don't know how you can hit the torch guys without taking damage.
Well, I did take damage.
You did, yeah.
You just gotta be farther away from them, or you just gotta wait till they take their torch back.
I guess, yeah.
Because they just stick out their torch and it does damage to you if you walk into it. And it's like, well, he's always kind of facing me, so how do I get around this?
Yeah, and I have gamer brain, so I'm like I have to do this fast. So I'm like, gotta hit him. Yeah. How do I hit him without waiting?
You don't have gamer brain. You just have Sonic sickness. So gotta go fast.
Well, that is a gamer brain, really. But...
Can't wait for the Sonic open world game and see they deal with that.
Yeah. We talked about this actually a little bit in a couple episodes, but I don't see it going very well.
We talked about it in the Elden Ring episodes.
It was either Elden Ring or the Sonic episodes.
Yeah, because it's like how do you make a loop work in because like the cool thing about open world games is that usually you can attack like dungeons or whatever and like however you want, it's like I can go about this in a couple of different ways, but it's like how do you do a loop? How do you make a loop go from a different direction other than the one direction that it's in?
And then the only way to resolve
how do you make that interesting?
Exactly. The only way to resolve that is to funnel you in from one of two directions, which is like
chili dog at the top of it. And I'm playing as Sonic, and if I'm putting myself in Sonic's shoes, one, that's hot, and two, I want chili dogs.
Yeah. I would, I could see it being good if it was kind of less open world and more framed like some of the newer Sonic games where it's like you're running and it's like a third person like back to front view, and like you can run to the left a little bit or the right a little bit, and like there's options there. That's the only way I can really see it working out very well.
It's like rings or something that you can.
Mm-hmm. And in fact,
yourself towards.
I think that's how From Software goes back from doing a fully open world game. Is if they have it set up so that you can like it's more like Sekiro, where it's like, okay, there's this area, you fuck around in there in a general direction.
Yeah, and then that direction is going to stop at some point. I'm going to have to go back.
Yeah, or somewhere else or whatever. Yeah, but I think that's the best way to do it because that felt open worldy, where it's like, okay, here's a situation and I can approach it however I want.
For sure.
But it's not like open world where you're just like, okay, well, I run and kill Goomba and then run again. You
definitely had to do certain things to unlock other areas, but it was very like most of the areas were connected generally, and you had a bunch of different options.
Yeah.
And if you ran into a wall, you could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I did that a number of times.
I think that's like ideal peak game design, because like it eliminates kind of both of the things where it's like everyone wants to play an open world game because they want options and they want to think and approach something how they want to do it. And that affords you that without the caveat of like, okay, well now it's like, okay, run to the next objective and maybe potentially see something interesting.
Yeah, how to fill that open world.
It forces you to go in a general direction, which means like it's not, you don't have the urge of like, well, do I really want to do this dungeon? There's nothing in there for me.
Yeah.
It forces you to play the game all the way through. I think it solves a lot of your problems with like open world games and still makes it an open, like gives you the benefit of open world.
It's sort of like the meeting in the middle handshake kind of deal.
Yeah, but it actually works.
I feel like it's probably a lot easier to make as well, because like I can't imagine like Elden Ring took this long to make because
they were lazy,
because they like took a break. It's like they're probably working on it the whole fucking time, because like there's just so much that you have to put into an open world unless it's going to be fucking empty. It's like
absolutely.
I can't. And all the things that I was talking about, it's like I jumped to spots that I'm like, there's probably nothing back here. It's like this didn't really feel like super intended, and it sort of feels like just like an offshoot sort of deal.
Yeah.
And then there's like enemies and shit, and then like another direction to go. Like I could, and then like, or just like an item even. And it's like there's no way you like 3D designed the entire map and then was just like, let's just put shit everywhere. It's like because that whatever. It's probably not very. And they could have, I guess, but it's like it almost feels like someone had to play it to like be like, because what if you put things everywhere? How do you know if you can get there?
Yeah,
it's like you almost feel like someone had to play it, but like let's put something back there because fucking Bill and Bill the secretary got there. We just got Bill to play it.
Yeah,
it's like you have the inquisitive eye, where it's like if you just design the map, it's like you forget that the jump is a thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like you're not going to put something somewhere.
Yeah, well, and there is such a thing as too much too.
True.
So I don't know. That's the only way I see the Sonic game working, though, is doing something like that.
Yeah.
Although I will say it would be really cool to be open world, because it would probably be the first Sonic game to afford you the ability to just go fast.
True.
Which is what we've always wanted as gamers, right?
To go fast with little
impeding
interruptions. Yeah. Because you get those dopamine like speed. I mean, we just played through Sonic Forces on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
So it's like you get those dopamine like third person behind like forward facing camera where you just get to hold the boost button. And you're just like you're just blowing through enemies and just like there's nothing really stopping you. Is like is it gameplay? No, but is it fucking like
is it fun?
Is it mind numbingly just like yes, and I love that, and that's the whole point of Sonic. It's like,
yes.
The character's design is too far gone that it's like, well, sometimes Sonic wants to go slow. Sometimes he just wants to go slow.
Just take it easy.
It's just not that. It's like, this does afford that the option of like, I just get to blast at full speed to my next destination. So it's like maybe leave the world empty enough.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can see what you want at that speed, but you don't really have to slow down.
Yeah.
To like do that, or it's like,
well, and if it's so fun to travel and you're so moving so fast, and it doesn't really matter if the world's empty, because it feels good to move.
Yeah, just put like a loop, but like or like
a boost
like
or
a jump, or
jump,
something to like go there, or like sort of evolve on that. I don't know where the gameplay goes from that. It's like, does Sonic go into a cave and fight a bunch of enemies? Like,
Chili dog, yeah, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, it's like that's my biggest like. I'm not worried. I don't give a shit. The Sonic games have been bad for so long that
this is the status.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure it'll have great music, and that would be the only upset if the music was just shit.
Yeah,
is like.
Oh my god, you could run to Butt Rock for hours, dude.
Oh my
Just
god,
think about
amazing. And it's like, what do you do? How does the Sonic world like translate to 3? Like, every Sonic game just ends up being like these weird like there are like half pipes everywhere, like long half pipes, but like that's not.
Or you're in the city.
There's like but it's usually like dilapidated, so that there's like like fallen buildings you can jump on. Like weird like.
Well, I'm thinking like Sonic 06, or you're like in New York City.
Yeah.
Sonic
it was
DX.
Just sort of weird. Yeah, it's like, how does that like translate?
What is
it's strange? Sonic like world is strange.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know,
but I think that it has the potential to be good.
I'm all for it. I don't care.
I use the term good very loosely. It could give you what Sonic gamers have wanted for a long time.
An OC.
No, we got.
We
that
already got that.
Yeah, chill, cool it.
Son, we have Sonic OC at home. It's called Sonic Forces.
It's yeah, Sonic OC at home.
Which fucking, like I said when we played that game, props to them, dude. Holy shit.
What?
I thought they would have kept that in a barrel for a long time.
Making OCs? No,
Yeah.
they're like, we got to bounce back and fast.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about that game. That's why I played so much of that game. It's because you got all the clothes, and you like when you S-ranked missions, you got like 5 more things of clothes, and I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
deck out
dude.
your guy.
I wanted to make my guy as edgy as fuck. It was great. Like the game itself wasn't amazing, but like
But hell, I was able to run around.
The rewards were worth it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
No,
It's a Sonic game. It's like.
It's just like
sometimes you run fast, sometimes you have to fucking bash your head on some platforming and whatever.
Yeah, fart slam.
And then you get cool clothes and you get to make your OC look cool. And you're like, hell yeah.
And you get to hold hands with Sonic.
It's way better than just getting an S rank and then nothing happens other than having an S rank.
Yeah.
The rewards were there. So
yeah. I don't know. I think it was good, but
it was fine.
I think that they could make a Sonic open world thing. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't really see a Dark Souls open world thing going very well, but I mean, look at it's amazing. So
yeah, we both are ranting and raving about it.
Yeah, so I think they can do well. There is a possibility that it could be done. I don't know if they can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure
if
Sonic Team or whoever is behind that one is capable.
Yeah.
See, the difference between them and From Software is that From Software has pretty much only had bangers.
True.
Whereas Sonic is almost the opposite.
Yeah, almost exclusively.
Exclusively the opposite.
Yeah.
Where instead of bangers, they've had ploppers. Ploppers.
Absolute ploppers, dude.
So
yeah, I don't know. I could see it going
or just meh, like it's like.
But I hope that they make it. I hope they do a good job.
Yeah,
I want our blue boy to.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want them to rush it. I almost hate how fast games come out now because like it almost, and that's one of the things that I'm like realizing playing Elden Ring is that it feels so concise and like so planned out and like people thought about it. Is like, I'm like, I haven't felt this way playing a game lately. It's like what happened? It's like it feels how come I haven't played a game lately where it feels like the developers thought about it?
Yeah,
where they like either played through it and they like thought and were like let's do this, or it's like this game was buggy. They just had patch notes where they fixed quest lines, and it's like it must not have been fucking broken enough for me to realize it. Like it's like it was
unless you're playing the Steam game, but.
Yeah, I am a little upset because my Steam version of Elden Ring still won't launch. But I think I think that might. It's again, I'm probably giving them too much credit in the fact that like making games on computers are hard because you have to deal with a lot of like hardware differences and stuff, and I can't imagine my hardware is not powerful enough. But like I don't know, there's probably also something weird, and I only tried troubleshooting it like the day it launched.
Oh, you haven't tried opening it since?
I have, but I haven't tried troubleshooting it since. So I don't.
You might just want to try reinstalling.
Yeah, that, or I also haven't tried that, or like I haven't seen if there's any like cheeky way to get around it because it was like the day or the day after it came out. So people were like, it might be this. I've gotten it to work a couple times like this, but not consistently. So there's shit like that.
Yeah, there's no way that everybody who bought the game on Steam isn't playing it.
Oh no, I've seen people play it. So yeah, I know it works, and I'm sure I can get it to work, and I might just need to reinstall. But I'm also not upset about it because they can have my money. I like From Software. I'm not won't even refund it. Yeah, I probably could.
Well, you'll probably
if I absolutely can't get it to work and I still can refund it, I might. But like if I get it to work, I'm playing it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing,
and I want to because it's like. The PS5 runs the game really well, especially on the frame rate setting, because you can actually choose to have it focus on like how it looks or on frame rate. I just have it set on the frame rate one because I like frame rate better.
Me too.
I'd rather have a stable frame rate or as close to a stable frame rate as possible than to have the game look a smidge better.
Yeah, it looks good now.
But yeah, it's like I really want a Bloodborne remaster. On either the PS5 or the PC because I really want to play that game at 60 frames because playing it at the 10 frames that you occasionally get that game at, that is
underwhelming.
I just think it would make that game just so much better. It's already one of my top favorite games. I still love it even despite that. But it's like I want that for that reason. It's like I don't super care, because like I play Switch games all the time and they definitely don't get 60 because you can't,
No.
And I don't super care, but like if I can get it,
Why not?
yeah, why not? I love that. It's like it's just a game doesn't need to do that for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
If it's crippling, yeah, that fucking sucks.
Well, if it's crippling,
yeah. But like I feel like I have to say that, because like some people are like, well, there's this game, whatever. It's like, yeah, if it's crippling, then yeah, I'm not gonna fucking have a great time,
Yeah, no.
But if it has like a consistent like 30 or 40 frames, I don't care.
No.
If the game is fun to play and that's not getting in my way, great. I'll have a great time.
Yeah, whatever. But if I could play it at 60 frames, I'm gonna
fuck
play it at 60 frames.
Yeah, and if it's like a game worthy of it, like looks good and shit, it's like I would love to play Elden Ring at like over 60 if I could get that,
Yeah,
because this is running close. It's close to that.
Yeah,
it probably dips under occasionally, but it still looks great. But I would love to, and it
zero slowdowns,
and it just gives me another reason to play the game again, which I want to do. But whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I've never been one for the graphics either, but like, I don't know. As I've started to play more computer games, I've started to be like, okay, frames are pretty cool.
Frames, yeah.
Frames
again,
really cool.
We didn't know this shit because like I didn't have a PC growing up that it could.
Never.
That could do that, or two that like, I had available to me. You know, it's like, but now that all these games that come out that are, and that's like a standard now, is like, oh, like I get it that these aren't pixels no more. Like I like when the game is smooth and buttery.
Yeah, smooth and butter is a good way to play a game.
Is good, but not
critical, but like
not critical, but
definitely
certainly
helps.
Yeah,
man, I'll like the jump from playing like PS4 games, like especially like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, where it's like anywhere between 20 and 30 frames to like jumping to 60 or 144 frames on the game. Like, man, that experience was so good.
It's a hard drug to drop.
It is. It is almost, actually, I think it's better than, remember when HD TVs like first came out?
Oh my God. Yeah.
That it was like, oh my God, everything's moving so fast, and like you can see everything.
Yeah.
You can see that guy's nose hair. You know what I mean?
It's like, damn.
Oh my God. It was like,
why can't the real world look like this?
Literally, yeah. Well, I didn't wear glasses at the time, and I probably needed it to. So literally that.
I just I was telling you about this. I got new glasses like a month or two ago, and my old glasses were fucked.
Yeah,
apparently they were really scuffed up. And I had like started really noticing it, which is not a great thing if you have glasses. You don't really want to know that your glasses are there when you have glasses.
Yeah,
and it's like I started to really notice it. And I was like, man, I can't wait to get new glasses. And I got my new glasses and I'm like, holy shit.
HD.
The world is HD again.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
It changes everything.
Why did the world not look like this a day ago?
I think it was, I told you the story. Actually, I might have told you on the channel, but this coworker I had in high school didn't wear glasses for like the first, like too long in her life, like very long. And she finally like went to go get glasses and she got them and she put them on. And she's like, oh my God, like you can see leaves on the trees. Like they're not just blobs.
Yeah. The trees aren't blobs? What?
Yeah. They're not just green like things.
See individual leaves?
Yeah.
What is this?
There's that one. And then my brother-in-law actually like got glasses, like again, probably way too late. And he went to see like the second Harry Potter movie. And I remember like he was telling us, like he told his mom like, is this what movies are supposed to look like? And her mom was like, oh my God, I'm a bad parent. But like, I thought it's like, it's such a funny moment. Cause like if you live your whole life that way, you never know.
Of course not.
How would you know?
Yeah.
You never know that like, this isn't what that looks like. That's why you have to take like colorblind tests.
The signs on the sides of the road say things that are important.
Yeah.
I thought they were hieroglyphics.
That was why I needed to get glasses, because I was driving down the road with my buddy in college, and there's where I went to college. There's a very large like Chinese population, especially like in the specific dorm I lived and worked in. And so we were driving down the road one day, and I looked over and I was like, wow, like they're printing signs in Chinese. Like that's cool, because like when we went to Hawaii once, the second language they put there is Japanese, not Spanish, because there's so many Japanese people there. So I was like, wow, there's so many. Like, is this the
so
same
inclusive?
thing? Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, there must be so many Chinese people here that like they print things in Chinese too. That's like interesting. And I got close and I was like, oh no, that's a bicycle. That's a bicycle sign.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh no, it's in English, but no, you
No.
mistook a whole fucking bicycle for the Chinese language.
I know. It's like, oh no, I need to get glasses.
I need glasses.
I very promptly after that got glasses, and I was like, wow, this like it was the same thing. It's like I didn't know that human beings could see this far. Like,
It's a game changer.
Oh, it's crazy.
Being able to see correctly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think, but
well, it's just like I didn't know that like human beings could see out this far crisply.
Yeah.
You know, like I can see shit across the street and it doesn't look blurry. Like I didn't think that was a thing.
Trust
But
me, it doesn't go away either. I only had those glasses for like a couple months, like a year. I
Oh,
think
no.
I had them for like a year too long, which is probably what happened.
Oh.
And I had completely forgotten that the world just looked good at one point. And it was like I got these new ones, and I'm like, oh my lord,
HD.
yeah, holy shit, a whole new experience.
Yeah, I need to go and get new ones.
Yeah.
So how does this tie into
Open world? The real world is open world. But
True.
But you can't fight the final boss right away.
Oh, who is the final boss? Yourself? Your inner demons?
Bill Gates.
That's controversial.
Is it?
I don't know.
I was just naming a random celebrity.
People hate Bill Gates now because of the whole like I think he puts microchips in your arm or something. I don't know. I don't keep up to date on that.
That's
but
pretty lame.
It's pretty
That's pretty final boss worthy.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
The CEO of Microsoft. Is he still the CEO?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't keep up with the real world.
You don't keep up on celeb news, dude?
I probably know the world of Elden Ring better than the real world. Kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
I don't know. It's not that bad. What's gonna happen?
I have fun. That's
as long as you pay your taxes, then
I
whatever.
pay my taxes. I work. I work my full-time job.
Sure.
You know.
Come home, play Elden Ring.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What are you gonna do?
That's a good old American adventure.
What are you
dude.
gonna do to stop me?
Who do you think you are to stop me?
Yeah.
So powerful, dude.
Thanks. I guess on that note.
All right,
I
think.
this thing?
Yeah, I think it's.
I think we've been
time.
off the topic of open world games for a good second.
Well,
now.
we were talking about render distance, bro. Like
Render
IRL
distance,
render
yeah,
distance.
IRL open world. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're tying it back to the real world so y'all could take something home.
Yeah,
and,
you can learn a little
apply
bit.
it to your real life.
Yeah.
If your render distance seems low,
Get
maybe
glasses.
opt for some glasses. That is probably the most gamer thing I have ever come up with ever. I love that. I'm gonna start using that.
My render distance is so low, bro. I need new glasses. I need new
I think I
prescription.
need a new prescription. My render distance seems low.
Yeah, why don't you tell that to your optometrist? They'll be like, "What the?
Hey
fuck?
doc, my render distance seems to be pretty low.
Could you up my prescription?
Yeah, can you up my prescription?
Yeah, you got to use like a gamer lingo like contraction. Like,
can you up my settings?
settings? Can you turn up my anti-aliasing to high, please? To ultra.
But if your frame rate starts dropping, you might have other problems. I don't know what's I don't know how to fix that one yet.
That's No, you need to go to
you might need new specs.
Yeah. You need to upgrade some of your hardware because that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign.
If your frame rate starts dropping.
Yep.
No, it feels like the more I get older, the slower my CPU gets, and the less RAM and hard drive memory I have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All my files started to get corrupt.
I start forgetting things. That part of my drive gets corrupt, and it's gone.
I don't need to know about your drive, bro.
There's no way of recovering it.
Your ports.
Yeah, you don't want to know about my ports.
Yeah, no.
My hard drive is my brain.
Yeah, I don't need to know about your ports.
Yeah.
No,
those are malfunctioning too.
Yeah, on your laptop there. That's
oh my
for
god,
sure.
fuck that,
Piece
dude!
of shit.
It literally effed our audio for a couple of videos.
It's effed a lot of things. My computer has effed a couple of things.
I feel like it only fucked up the audio like once.
Well, it fucked up 3 Bug Snacks episodes. I feel like it's like dropped.
But that was just the same
stuff
thing.
Before.
No, that was when we were using different programs.
True.
And
yeah,
that was happening on both. Or it was undiagnosed on which that was happening.
Yeah. True. We've had a lot of technical errors here.
We were using.
Game
Game Capture.
Yeah, and Adobe.
I don't think it was the whatever. Is it
One of them was fucking up.
It's a dump test. Yeah, fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah, we don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, we're better now.
We're yeah, we're optimized now. So I don't know. We still record the audio by recording a video with a blank screen and then delete the blank screen out.
But like, how else would you do it?
I don't know. Well, I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but we are using two machines, and
whatever.
It's a little behind the scenes view for you guys.
Yeah.
But,
Since you hung out after, we were like, let's end this thing. It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the after episode, like the wind down,
the cool down.
Yeah, the cool down. Yeah, it's the cool down with the bros. This is just a
back
podcast.
in my chair now. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. It's the same
desk chair. How do I lean back in?
Dude, you can lean back in that.
Oh, I'm scared.
It's dangerous.
Of this one,
that's the one I crank it all the way back in. Oh, by the way, that bolt that fell out is what secures the backrest. I still lean back.
The one that I'm putting most of my weight on right now?
Yes. Well, yes. I still lean back in it anyway, but yes, that is what is... That bolt was what was going to hold your body weight up, but now it's not.
I'm glad I don't sit in this chair often.
Oh, I do. I crank it all the way back, dude. I don't care that the bolt's missing. I crank it all the way back.
Live on the edge, dog.
Yeah. If I'm going to die gaming, that's the best way to go out.
Hell yeah.
A gamer god legend at that point,
true.
Right?
Yeah, true.
So... Ninja hasn't done that.
I'm sure Ninja has fallen out of his chair.
Has he died gaming? No. Jacksepticeye hasn't done that. I could be a god.
No.
I could be a gamer god.
Right.
So, on that note.
Yeah. Bye.
We'll turn it. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
How the fuck do we end this?
The kisses. I just hit the button.
Oh, sick.
Bye.
All right, well, bye.